All right, Autobots. Keep on rolling, baby! Hello, Sharky. Hello, Johnny.
Hey, Cass.
Hello.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Transformers Mystery of Convoy, also known by its full title, Tatakae, Chō Robotto Seimeitai Toransufōmā, Konboi no Nazo. I'm sure I butchered that, so I'll just go by its translated title, Fight Super Robot Lifeform Transformers Mystery of Convoy, which
That rolls off the tongue better.
people just shorten that one down to Transformers Convoy no Nazo. Or if you read the box, so many titles here, you can also call this game Mystery of Convoy. They put an M in place of the N on that one.
We're at the top. It's that Retro says, oh, this won't be for the epileptic. Cass, take it away.
So there's a patch for this game that disables the flashing. There is a patch on romhacking.net by Macobra52 that disables flashing in this game. We were going to reference this a little later, but we'll address it here just for the benefit of folk who are concerned about the flashing in this. Because otherwise, yeah, this one's a bit tough to look at. But, boy howdy. How about those Transformers, huh? Well, I remember back in the day, watching them on that cartoon show of theirs, and of course, who can forget those toys transforming all over the place, turning into all sorts of fucking shit. Oh, but man, oh man, don't get me started on that jerk Michael Bay, tarnishing the reputation of those cartoons designed to sell the toys, I guess. Yeah, man.
A robot pee on someone.
Yeah, and massive balls.
So, in case it wasn't obvious, I am not necessarily the Transformers #1 fan. In fact, you could say I don't much care for the Transformers.
I thought you were going to say maybe #2 or 3 fan.
Yeah, somewhere in that top billion, give or take. How about you two? How about Sharky? You have any familiarity or affinity for the Transformers?
I really liked Transformers as a kid. I somehow remember that when I was in school, like you had like a quote unquote graduation from kindergarten before you got into your normal grade school stuff. At least at the school I went to, and my parents were like, "Well, what do you want? We're gonna give you a graduation gift." And I remember I was like, "I want an Optimus Prime toy. That's my graduation gift." Because I love Transformers. I thought they were so cool. I had Megatron. Except not the gun one. It was the one that turned into a tank, but it had all those electronic noises. I had some of the dinosaur ones. I love them. Never saw the cartoon in my life. I was purely in it for the toys. I would see the toys. I would see that they were robots that could turn into a vehicle or turn into a dinosaur. And I was like, you know what? That's just cool. I just want to get into these things. So yeah, I liked Transformers. It's not a series I've ever kept up on. I didn't watch the movies. I still haven't watched the cartoons, if we're being honest. But, it's a nostalgic little thing where it's like, yeah, Transformers are cool.
Now, how about you, Johnny?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I was like a regular watcher keeping up with it, but I do remember as a kid a Transformers show sometimes being on the limited channels I had. I believe it's the one that Fox Kids localized based on like when most of them were Japan animated. I did have at least one toy though, and admittedly the toys are the better part. Just from like functionality of like the ones that can transforms. I don't know which one I had, but it would turn into like what most like 90s to 2000 era like rocket like spaceships look like. It's just like the mechanical thing of changing them was just really fun, just doing that. But I will say there was a 2004 PlayStation 2 game called Transformers that I think is a bit of a hidden gem, and that is probably my favorite piece of Transformers media. Not to be confused with the other game on PlayStation 2, also just called Transformers.
Very good. And again, just to give further clarification to my thoughts, even as a dumb kid who was getting into stuff the likes of Power Rangers at all, Transformers to me just felt especially egregious as far as media designed to sell me on toys was concerned, which is, what all children's media was in the 90s, if we're
Not
calling
like
a spade
Power
a spade
Rangers.
here. No, I mean, including Power Rangers, obviously. But, at least there was, like, I don't know, some sort of, like, acting, performances, action scenes with, like, people. I don't know. I don't know what makes Transformers different in my mind from the likes of a Power Rangers or anything else I would have watched.
I think it was more egregiously commercials for toys before that became illegal.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it was just the recognition that, oh yeah, every single one of these characters was a toy first, before they made the jump to this cartoon designed to sell me on owning the toys myself. And I don't know, I guess I just never really went for the transforming figures. I more liked building my own stuff, Legos at all. But hey, if you are a Transformers fan watching this, no shade on you. Just not my bag. Not my cup of tea. But we will give this game the fair shake all bad games deserve, as is our mission statement here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. This game, one of the classics of kusogē, one of the most infamous of the family computer Famicom era. We should probably do that release info on the right-hand side before I forget. This game released exclusively in Japan, December 5th, 1986, for that Nintendo family computer, the Japanese equivalent of the NES, for those who don't know. Developed by Ghost Studios Isco Incorporated and Locomotive Corporation, and published by Takara. And we will get into some details during the history section tonight. We did prepare a history section for this. We had to prepare it on short notice. We were sort of torn between a few games that we wanted to play today. We had 3 different NES games up on offer. We threw it to the folk in our Patreon Saints channel over on the Discord. Just like a quick 24-hour poll. This is the one they landed on, so I threw together the history section over the course of this morning. But I still think we get into some good detail. I think there's some interesting tidbits. A lot of it cribbed from our original article on this game from back in the writing days. BadGameHallOfFame.com/transformers-mystery-of-convoy for you there for your consultation consideration. But before we get to the game, before we get to the history even, we gotta get to a segment that isn't intended to sell you on anything. It's just there out of the goodness of our hearts that we provide it to you. I'm, of course, talking about Turkey Stream Snack.
Now, it will be here to sell you something as soon as we get some sponsors rolling.
Yeah, as soon as the money starts pouring in, then we're selling out. Yeah, it's...
But for now, tonight's stream snack is chicken salad of the chopped variety. I have it stuffed in this big, hollowed out half of a croissant that I think has like toasted cheddar on top of it. I think the thing was actually unlabeled. It's just in a box. But it's fine. I wish I had salt and peppered the chicken salad here, added some to that, but it's a little too late now. But whatever, it is still food. I will still eat it. And our drink tonight is C4 Smart Energy Sparkling Cherry Berry Lime. This is the last of the Smart Energy variety pack that I got in terms of new flavors. Now, last time I had a cherry drink on this show was an Unwell. That was like a cherry lime, and that tasted like cough syrup, and I had to just immediately go pour it out.
One might say it did not go over well.
No, it went on. Anyway, I still have high hopes for this because I do like a cherry limeade. I think like a lot of cherry flavors in the more recent years have gotten better at steering away from cough medicine flavor. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little hesitant right now, but let's give it a taste. You'll know immediately if it tastes bad or not. That tastes all right. Yeah, that doesn't taste like medicinal, really. But where's the lime in there? While I take another sip of this, Cass, what are you having?
Oh, you know me. I'm fully on board the Monster Juice Voodoo Grape Train at this point in time. A train that transforms into, I don't know, some kind of robot or something.
Okay. So, you know what? Actually, yeah, that's what I'm picking up out of this. Because when it's cherry berry lime, the berry is actually raspberry. I see now. I'm looking again on the label here. Yeah, I'm picking up. It's affecting the flavor for sure, but it's not coming through super strong. It's definitely cherry up front, lime on the back end, and a lingering sort of sweetness that's like not as sweet as the lime slush that tasted like a Mike and Ike from Alani Nu, but a little bit of like extra sweetness with that lime. But that raspberry is really kind of buried in there. It's not coming forward too strong, but it is affecting the taste, and not necessarily in a bad way. I think I would rather a straight up cherry limeade, but this is all right. This is a-okay, I think. Johnny, what'd you bring for your snack?
I've got a little bit of a fancy coffee today. We have a Tassimo coffee machine. They're ones where you put little drink pods in. I have a Lure Latte Macchiato. And for my snack, I have these Golden Wonder Cheddar Onion Crisps. I don't know if I'll get to those because they are loud.
You didn't get those Transformer snack chips? I forgot what those are called. I just remember Ashens mentioning them back in the day. That would have been on brand, that UK exclusive.
Yeah. So yeah, sadly, yeah, don't know if those are still available.
That sounds hopelessly out of date.
But I have transformed from the green tea mochi I had before. We now have peanut mochi, which is far more my style. Green tea ones were a bit, yeah, just like peanut butter inside.
Maybe what's the second word that you said? Machi?
No, mochi.
Mochi? Oh wait. Oh, mochi. Okay. Peanut butter mochi though. Still, I'm still confused.
Give it a try. Yeah, sweet peanut.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I've
Yum,
had them
yum.
before. Yeah.
All right, I wouldn't have thought of that, to be honest. Okay. I think that will do it then for the stream snack.
Very good. Yeah, you can put anything in a mochi ball, as it turns out.
I mean, you can, but the question is if you should. But I don't know. I wouldn't have thought peanut butter.
Well, I wouldn't have thought that we'd be here playing this game tonight, but alas.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I guess I did. I guess this is one that we had to get around to. This is, like, as I mentioned, one of the classics of kusogē, so it was inevitable here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. We have a special gimmick, too, as we play it tonight, but we'll get to that as we get to the game. First, we got to get over to this main stage. We got to show up on this main stage, and we got to do a little bit of a history section. I'm going to mostly riff this one out, if y'all don't mind. Starting with this. Before there was Transformers, there was Microman and Diaclone, two toy lines produced by Takara. The first would have been Microman. That's a toy line that ran from 1974 to 1984 initially. These were something like 4-inch tall action figures, which had a lot of different points of articulation, more so than most other toys of the time. They looked very robotic in nature. They came with vehicles, playsets, all the accoutrements, and they were also sort of interchangeable in some capacity because you could take the little connectors, the little screws out, and sort of mix and match them, as I'm to understand it. This is all completely like secondhand, third-hand knowledge that I'm gleaning from other sources. I can tell you that these were sold in the United States as Micronauts, some of our English-speaking viewers may be more familiar with, between 1976 and 1980. This gives way when that toy line draws to a close, or no, actually in the middle of it, I guess running simultaneous concurrently, Takara launches the Diaclone line in 1980. These are more traditional, what we would expect of the Transformers, which is to say transforming vehicles and robots, which are actually piloted by the Micromen, and a bit of a product tie-in, crossover going on there. These toys in the Diaclone line were actually designed, at least several of them were, by some of the future designers of Macross, famous Japanese anime franchise, fighting robots, etc., etc. Again, completely outside of my knowledge zone, so I know that name means something to someone. So they design the mecha characters and the toy figures. These toys are advertised as being not necessarily full scale in the way that Microman is. These are 10 centimeter tall alien cyborgs, and they're in that 1/60th scale that I believe is popular among figurines. In 1982, the Diaclone line produces a car robot set of transforming robot toys. That's where we start to get into what are the original Transformers, as we'll see in a minute. If you look in this bottom right image, the bottom right of the right-hand side image, that Battle Convoy character looks an awful lot like an Optimus Prime, because he is. Because these toys do eventually, in 1984, go on to be absorbed, combined by one Hasbro, who licenses both these lines from Takara in order to bring Transformers globally, worldwide, to the States primarily, but Japan retroactively starts to incorporate these figure lines also into the Transformers line. So it was a global affair with Hasbro's effort to sort of make a new toy line based on these existing lines. Similar things happen with like Kinnikuman, where they become the muscle figurines, where it's just efforts by North American distributors to take Japanese toys and novelties and sort of rebrand them for the West and globally and so forth. So those little like eraser style toys that were coming out in Japan become muscle over here, and meanwhile Kaneko Man continues as a franchise independently over in Japan. But this is more of an effort to globalize the brand, to unify it. And then so we'll move along to our next slide, where Transformers Mania starts to take over. As mentioned, 1984, we get the Transformers. We get the first generation of Transformers toys pictured here. The marketing slogan, "Robots in Disguise," for the fact that these Transformers toys all transform into various different things, you know, from cars primarily into robots, but there are a few, like, you know, boombox cassette, one of them, I believe, couldn't tell you which. And as mentioned by Johnny earlier, Megatron originally turned into a fucking Luger, just turned into a German pistol, which was not long for this world, as I am to recall. I don't think that one made the jump necessarily in the globalization of the toy line. And this is also, you know, with the launch of the toy line comes the infamous commercials, the theme song, Transformers, Robots in Disguise, etc., etc., etc. I don't actually know the lyrics to it. Again, no affinity
I think that's all
for
of the
this.
lyrics.
No, there's something about a war with the Decepticons. There's something, I know vaguely that there's something like that in there. Anyway, yeah, so you get characters the likes of Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, Jazz, Starscream in this first generation of figures. Also, Marvel Comics, I think someone in chat mentioned that Marvel Comics was brought on to develop the backstories for the Transformers toy line, as well as getting dibs on authoring a Marvel-released Transformers comic that is originally in the continuity of the broader Marvel universe, but then quickly becomes its own standalone thing, as I'm to understand it. And this comic book releases concurrently with the debut of the Transformers animated television series, which has its own continuity. So we have the original Japanese continuity of the Daikon and the Micromen, that, you know, becomes Transformers. So they have one going on. We have the Marvel Comics, that's another. And then we have what is like the primary continuity, which is the animated series and the commercials that tie into that. There is a 3-part miniseries debut for this. The subtitle of that is More Than Meets the Eye, which goes on to become a marketing slogan in and of itself for the Transformers. So those 3 episodes go over like gangbusters in September of 1984. This gives way to a first season of the show that runs 16 episodes, running from September to December of 1984. This is followed by a 49-episode second season, airing September 1985 through January 1986, leading up to a feature film that we'll talk about in just a second, as well as 2 more subsequent seasons of the animated show in the years to follow. But before we get to the feature film, which is a big part of the game we're about to play tonight, I would, of course, be remiss not to mention the first Transformers video games, released late 1985 and early 1986. The first is Ocean Software's The Transformers, released across the Commodore 64 and ZX Spectrum, developed by Denton Designs. This one is a pretty traditional side-scrolling action game with some transformation therein. You can see a screenshot of it on the right, and just picture what this looks like. Probably labyrinthian platforming hell. But, you know, was the style of the time. Then there's the second game, the one that released in early 1986. That would be Activision's The Transformers Battle to Save the Earth. That's a Commodore 64 exclusive, if I'm to understand it. And it is sort of like, it's a gallery shooter primarily. It is stages where you are first-person shooting using your joystick to operate a crosshair on the screen. But there are some like strategy elements tying it all together. There's like an overworld type deal where you can see the positions of all your troops relative to the incoming Decepticons. You can transform to apparently very minimal effects. Since it's a first-person game, you don't actually see your characters on the screen outside those little transformation animations. But, you know, it's just worth it to point those out because these would have been the first. And they would have been primarily marketed towards North American audiences at this point in time. I'm sure some of these partially made their way over to Europe as well on those microcomputers, especially that ZX Spectrum version of the first Transformers game. But this is to say that Japan was not getting in on this just yet. We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, we got to talk about August 8th, 1986, a day that will live in history. The release of the animated feature film titled The Transformers, the Movie. This is directed by South Korean animation director Nelson Shin, who was producer on the Transformers animated TV series, as well as, this was a fun little credit I found, an uncredited animator for the lightsabers in Star Wars A New Hope. He's left out of the credits for that, but he was apparently one of several people who would keyframe in the animated lightsabers, who would mat that in over the sticks they were waving around in that movie. The animation was produced by companies Sunbow Productions, Marvel Productions, and Toei Animation, all working in conjunction with one another in some capacity. This movie would have an all-star cast featuring the voice talents of Leonard Nimoy, Eric Idle, Judd Nelson, Robert Stack, and Orson Welles in his last ever film role. Yep, we'll get to that in a minute too. There's also the likes of Frank Welker, Casey Kasem, career voice actors, Scatman Crothers, and Paul Eiding, who would go on to do a number of video game voices, among anime voices, among many other things, and among many, many more actors that they got on the horn for this one.
Yeah, I know one that's missing.
Ooh, lay it on me.
Weird Al Yankovic.
That's what I was about to say. Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
I knew that he did a song. I didn't know that he did a...
No, he did a song. That's good enough. All
right. Well, I was going to get to that, but...
Yeah.
It should be mentioned that this movie had a $6 million production budget, was very much a rushed production as well. That budget, that $6 million budget, was 6 times greater than most of the equivalent television series episodes. I think there's a line here that says the budget was $6 million, 6 times greater than that of the equivalent 90 minutes of the TV series, which I think is to mean like they mean the miniseries that they debuted with. I don't know, some bad copy that I found in trying to do the research for this. They mentioned that the director Shin's team of almost 100 personnel normally took 3 months to make one episode of the TV series, so the extra budget did not help the considerable time constraints from the concurrent production of both the film and TV series. Yeah, they were developing them, still working on the show while working on this movie. It is the same continuity. The TV series works up to the movie in a key way that we will mention in just a little bit. But I also just want to quickly mention here that we mentioned that $6 million production budget. The worldwide gross is $5.9 million, so it can be seen as a failure. It can be seen as a box office failure, which speaks to, there may have been like some diehard Transformers fans, but, there were certainly fans of the TV series, but they were not showing up in droves to the movie theater in the way that potentially distributors thought they might. I mentioned that this was the last role of one Orson Welles, legendary director, actor. I have some A brief bit of information here, which reads that Wells spent the day of October 5th, 1985, performing the voice of Unicron on set, and died October 10th. Just 5 days later. There's a reporting from Slate that says that his voice was apparently so weak that by the time he made his recording, the technicians needed to run it through a synthesizer to salvage it, to make it actually audible. He also read his lines so slowly that the audio had to be shortened to speed it up by about 8%. Shin said that originally, when Orson Welles took the project, he had been pleased to accept the offer on the role after reading the script and expressing an admiration for animated films. But shortly before his death, there is a conversation between Welles and his biographer, Barbara Leeming, or is that Barbara Leeming? Sorry. This is chronicled in Orson Welles, a biography. And this is Orson Welles' final words on this mortal coil. No, probably not. His final words on playing this character in the Transformers movie. You know what I did this morning? I played the voice of a toy. I play a planet. I menace somebody called something or other. Then I'm destroyed. My plan to destroy whoever it is thwarted, and I tear myself apart on the screen. So,
Oh, the French.
Seemed thrilled to go out on that note. If there's anything I remember of this film, there's any real cultural impact
that makes sense.
that this movie had, it is in the form of a song from the soundtrack by one Stan Bush titled The Touch. That is basically the only thing I ever got out of this movie was that song, which has appeared in media in the years since, and which I have seen back in the old file sharing days, back in the Kazaa, LimeWire, Napster days. People would erroneously attribute The Touch to Weird Al Yankovic. They just knew that Weird Al had a song on the soundtrack. It must have been this one. Never mind the fact that it sounds completely different than his range.
In those days,
Stan Bush's Dare to Be Stupid.
Yeah. I know, in those days, Weird Al was apparently responsible for like half of all music. The amount of songs that would get labeled as, oh yeah, this is Weird Al. This is some parody I found online.
A prolific recording artist. Anyway, we should probably summate the
down. They did a lot of parody music too. Anyway, go on, Cass.
Should probably summate this plot at least a little bit. The story of Transformers the movie is set in the future year 2005. Which is 20 years after the TV series' second season. As mentioned, the second season ends. It builds up to this movie. Which the central plot focuses on a planet-sized transformer called Unicron, who eats other planets and is quickly approaching the Transformers' home planet of Cybertron, which actually, in the events of the movie, is not the Transformers' home planet. Or I guess it is their home planet, but it's under the control of the Decepticons. So before you get to the Galvatron threat, before that plot thread really picks up, we begin with the war between the Autobots and Decepticons. Autobots trying to get control of their home planet back. They're having a battle on Earth, and in the course of this battle, probably the most pertinent detail for our purposes here tonight, Optimus Prime and Megatron get into a fight and mortally wound each other, which leads to the death of Optimus Prime, who, in his dying moments, as the color drains from him and he becomes a gray husk, passes down the matrix of leadership down to a hot rod who becomes one Rodimus Prime. He's actually one of several characters who die in the course of this movie, and then they die horrendously. This is because, as folk could probably guess, Hasbro had new toys. They had new Transformers toys they wanted to debut, so not giving a fuck about these characters and the attachments that viewers might have had to them or whatever else, they're just like, well, kill off these old characters so we can introduce new characters in their stead and introduce new toys. So, I mean, it makes sense from a marketing executive standpoint. And, it makes plenty of sense to me when I consider that, again, this is all just made to sell toys, right? That's ultimately what it is. But it's a little more egregious when you consider that this is a TV series that, in addition to selling toys, was also designed to be emotionally manipulative. I couldn't get the exact quote on this, but there was something about, like, in the production of the show where each of the principal characters in the cast was made to, like, embody a family figure for the benefit of viewers who were, like, from, like, lonely homes or who had, like, troubled homes, I guess, or just otherwise searching for those sort of family connection. So Optimus Prime is like the father figure to the Transformers and subsequently to the viewers. So yeah, people took it a little hard. We have an article here from Den of Geek that gets into the character deaths in Transformers the movie, and I'm going to read from it here just to sort of get across the impact of this decision-making and sort of the motivation behind it. From toymaker Hasbro's standpoint, killing off all these characters came down to simple economics. Prime, Ratchet, Prowl, and their compatriots were all part of an original 1984 Generation 1 line, and Hasbro wanted to replace them with shiny new toys like Cup, Blur, and Rodimus Prime. What better way to do it than in the Transformers' big, expensive debut movie? For kids who loved Optimus Prime, however, the Transformers Robot Massacre was akin to, say, Walt Disney shooting Mickey Mouse to death in the middle of Fantasia. In fact, Hasbro had completely failed to predict how kids, not to mention their exhausted parents, would react to Prime's shock death. In a brief documentary on Transformers the movie's 20th anniversary DVD, story consultant Flint Dill expresses his surprise at the level of grief that the event provoked. To quote Dill, "We didn't know that he was an icon. It was a toy show. We just thought we were killing off all the old product line to replace it with new products. Kids were crying in the theaters. We heard about people leaving the movie. We were getting a lot of nasty notes about it. There was some kid who locked himself in his bedroom for 2 weeks." There was, however, one person working on Transformers the movie who apparently tried to avert Prime's death, screenwriter Ron Friedman. Already the writer of G.I. Joe and the Transformers TV episodes, he was given the task of writing the Transformers movie script. Realizing that Prime was the heroic father figure in the Autobot family, he advised Hasbro against killing the character off. "I recognized that I needed to assign family identities to the characters in order to create the recognition factor that young people need," Friedman explained in a 2013 interview with Todd Matthey. "They cannot verbalize this. It's beneath the surface. To remove Optimus Prime, to physically remove Daddy from the family, that wasn't going to work. I told Hasbro and their lieutenants they would have to bring him back, but they said no, and they had great things planned. In other words, they were going to create new, more expensive toys." End quote. So there we go. We got to that quote that I was looking for that I forgot that I actually did in fact have. Yeah, wild stuff. And just incredibly short-sighted, stupid executive thinking. It turns out you could have probably continued to sell those old toys along with the new if you hadn't shot yourself in the foot in this sort of way.
Little Jimmy, what's wrong? What's wrong? Come out of your room. No, they killed Starscream, my favorite sniveling little piece of shit. Ah.
That was pretty sad. I guess the concept of just, a character gets a redesign and that's how you sell a new toy, just that concept didn't exist at the time, I guess. Because that's how you do that. You just, new form. Super Saiyan God, Instinct, Ultra, Prime, plus Alpha, caffeine free.
Ooh, caffeine free, I like that.
Starscream, he was just like me.
What, shrill and annoying, as a kid would be? So, anyway, as you might expect, Hasbro quickly realized their fuck up. They bring him back in season 3 of the animated series, which comes out in early 1987. They have enough time to, towards the beginning of the season, they bring Optimus Prime back, and to much fanfare, presumably. Again, I don't know. I don't care. But
too much sale of new Optimus Prime toys now on market.
Hey!
So here's the thing. Japan was also getting the Transformers animated series in some capacity. They didn't get the movie that released 1986 until 1989. So there was just this gap as season 2 leads to season 3 of the show while the movie's waiting to get localized in whatever capacity, clear rights, whatever needs to happen. They don't get this essential story beat. I mean, they do. They can just read magazines or whatever else to get those details. But, for people who are just tuned into the TV show, they're just like, wait, where's Optimus Prime at the beginning of season 3? Why do we have to wait for him to come back? What's he coming back from? So it's at this point that Takara realizes they need something like a storytelling stopgap. They need some sort of way to convey the details of what happened in the movie, or not, just to tell their own little story, to bridge that gap while folk are waiting for the movie to come out and are still watching the show, which leads us to the video game.
Oh, just like Star Wars and Fortnite.
Oh, God, that's right. Oh, nightmare world that we live in, folks. Truly the stupidest timeline. So, Takara, their logo seen in the bottom right. It has to be addressed now, sooner rather than later. Yes, they have one of the most racist logo designs of all time, in their capacity running in the 1980s through to the 1990s. They eventually changed this, but not before. I'll tell you, it's a little spoiler alert, that little character shows up in the game, so prepare for it to show up then. Anyway, Takara is not a game developer. They have to contract that sort of duty out to a pair of ghost developers in the case of this Transformers mystery of Convoy. The primary, the lead dev would be Isco, who, even though they're not credited in the game, they do, at a certain point, put it on their list of games on their official website, which is archived here, linked to here. Links in the description for those who are not watching live, who are watching on YouTube. I believe this is one of their first games, if not their first game. This is one of their first products for the NES. They would later go on to develop some more kusogē, the likes of Seikima 2 Akuma no Gyakushu, which is a particularly wretched platformer based on a band, based on Demon Kagare's band, if I'm to recall correctly. They do Parish Dakar Rally Special, one of the most infamous driving games of all time, also for the Famicom. And then later down the line, there's a personal favorite of mine, which is Deep Fear for the Sega Saturn they have involvement with. So they will be recurring characters here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame, but humble beginnings here. The other developer that is on the horn here is Locomotive. This is by testimony of company founder Hiroshi Okamoto. At this point, like when he's contracted to work on it, I don't think Locomotive is established at this point. He just has a sole proprietorship going with his wife. So they were a subcontractor on the project at this point. It was the first game he had ever worked on. He acted as producer and manager. His wife acted as a graphic designer on the game, and they had an outside part-timer responsible for programming. All these details come from an interview conducted with Hiroshi Okamoto, which is available on YouTube, courtesy of the channel. Well, it's all in Japanese, so I can't, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. It'll be in the description. I'm sure I'll translate it for the YouTube description here. Anyway, if the name Locomotive sounds familiar, it's because they developed some Virtual Boy titles we've been playing recently as part of our Virtual Insanity Virtual Boy retrospective. They're the ones behind V-Tetris, Virtual Fishing, and SD Gundam Dimension War, which none of those are... well, V-Tetris is fine, right?
Yeah.
But it's literally like pretty much the top, middle, and bottom of our list right now.
Effectively, yes. And they would also, Locomotive would come back later to Transformers to develop Transformers Beast War Transmetals and Korokyu 64-2 Hatka Mecha Grand Prix Race, both on the N64. Oh, did we mention that today's Trans Day of Visibility? Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Enjoy this Transformers playthrough.
Right, you can see it right there.
Yeah, totally planned. Totally. Not a happy accident at all.
No, absolutely not.
Oh yeah, trans rights, trans liberation.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers. So,
anyway. Also, it's weird to have a story here about a game out of Japan for the Famicom, done by Ghost Studios, and it's not Tosei.
Yeah, no, Tosei was doing like basically every other game for the NES at this point, for the family computer. So... yeah, a rare one that they skipped out on, perhaps to the detriment of the game and the brand. But we'll get to that with our next slide. So, Transformers Convoy no Nazo is promoted somewhat heavily in Japan. But according to a mini-series that we'll cover later, Q Transformers Mystery of Convoy Returns, we'll get into that. They go on to speculate in the course of this officially licensed show that the game only manages to move around 61,000 copies selling in Japan, despite the heavy promotion, despite commercials, promotional VHS tapes. So that's not good. Not even when you consider, for the Japanese market, not great. I have a scan from Famitsu here. This is specifically from Biweekly Famitsu number 13, published December 12th, 1986. We'll get to the review scores in just a second. But I do want to say that I scanned several issues, scanned through scans of several issues of Famitsu around the time of release. to check the charts to see if it had made like, you know, some of the top seller list even for like a moment in time, and no, it never even sniffed their top 20. So again, just who is it for? I guess the Transformers fan, but how many Transformers fans were there in Japan? There's a conversation going on in chat right now where people are asking, was it even that popular in Japan? Jatsu84 says yes, but who's to say? I mean, it was popular enough that there was, you know, the thought that we should make a video game while people are waiting for the movie, ostensibly eagerly anticipating the release of the movie. I mean, the TV show's airing. It's not like there was no audience. It's just that audience apparently did not cross over with the Famicom market. So, review scores here. If you add these numbers up, a 3, a 4, a 7, and a 4, in Famitu's 4 reviewer panel style, that adds up to a 18 out of 40, which...
That's real bad for Famitsu, isn't it?
For Famitsu, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to make a point here. For those who don't know, who aren't familiar with Famitsu, one of the preeminent games magazines running in Japan, they tend to score pretty highly. They tend to be, let's say, forgiving. I would go as far as to say they're not particularly discerning in a lot of cases. So there's a joke that anything below like a 30 out of 40 is like a mega bad game, and anything below a 20 is basically like some of the worst game of all time territory. So, and this game would qualify as that, and it has historically gone on to be recognized as one of the worst NES games of all time. So I suppose there's fairness. I suppose there's truth in those words. I do have translations to the best of my ability using OCR of these review snippets. We'll read them from left to right, which is, you know, not the traditional way, but it's the way that I parse this. So our first review comes to us courtesy of Tafuya Famibo, who says something to the effect of, I think the game balance is a bit off. The enemies are too strong. Since there are stages, I wish they had made it so you could clear at least the first 1 or 2 stages. The BGM is also disappointing. Maybe for the Transformers fans, as if to say, like, you know, like maybe Transformers fans will get something out of this, as he gives it a 3 out of 10. Next, we move on. The second column review here. This is Manager Mizuno, who states, I also own a few Transformers toys. They have a mechanical feel to them, and boys like that kind of thing. But as for this game, there's nothing particularly Transformers about it. In a 4 out of 10 review. Next in line, we have Mariko Morishita, who gives it a 7 out of 10, the highest score of this panel. Compared to the TV version of Transformers, which has a really fast-paced storyline, the Transformers on the Famicom is really hard to get through. I keep getting defeated at the same spot over and over. Why is it so difficult? Which brings us to
I can't get past this one spot in the game. It's too goddamn difficult. 7 out of 10.
Again,
well above average.
Famitsu. And then our last review here, the 4 out of 10, courtesy of Kaskan Kinya. It's just so difficult. I can't even clear stage 2. I was wondering what the point of this game is. I wish the transformation scenes were more fluid. And so, not beloved. I think it pretty quickly starts to pick up a reputation among, like, you know, schoolyard circles as being a fairly bad game. And maybe it's just that immediate, like, negative press that leads to it not moving that many units that keeps people from buying into it despite their Transformers fandom. You know, many a game like this of the era, you know, dime a dozen Famicom tying games to anime and manga properties that do not go over well, but some of them still manage to like carve out like sort of like cult reputation for themselves. Some of them still like that. We mentioned Kaneko Man earlier, and the game that is in North America known as Tag Team Match Muscle. That game, despite being like a very basic, one of the most basic wrestling games of all time, barely even a wrestling game, is sort of beloved in Japan. Whereas we make fun of it here in North America, we just regard it as being like trash. Like that game, despite not being very good, was like a big part of like early Famicom culture for folk, and just Transformers could not land that landing, could not stick it, could not carve out a spot for itself in the same way. This negative reception doesn't stop Takara from commissioning a second Transformers game. I forgot to put a screenshot here. I just have the box art for it. Second Transformers game for the Famicom Disk System, that being 1987's Transformers: The Headmasters, this time without involvement from ISCO. Do not know who the developer is on this game. Very poorly documented game. Does not have a Moby Games page as of time of recording, and probably won't because, it's impossible to update Moby Games. Wonderful site. Thanks, Atari. I've played a little bit of this. I played a little bit of it when I was writing the original article. I'm just going to summate. I'm just going to paraphrase myself here. Rather than stages designed around transforming on the fly, the game alternates between scrolling vehicle shooter stages and the familiar on-foot run-and-gun levels. It feels closer to what the ideal Transformers game for the NES Famicom should have been, but still falls short of the mark by my estimation, so saith me. And so, probably coming on the disc system doesn't help, which was already for as much as made of the disc system in modern retrospect, was not hugely successful in Japan for the Famicom. There's a reason why games that launched on it first, like Legend of Zelda, eventually just made their way to cartridge form later in Japan, because they weren't moving the units they expected with the Famicom disc system. So I can't imagine that this one sold much more, probably sold way less than the 61,000 estimated copies of its predecessor, and put the kibosh on further Transformers games for a while to follow, at least until the 90s, if I'm to recall correctly. At a certain point online in the years to follow, Transformers does begin to pick up its reputation as part of kusogē culture in Japan. There is tentative interest from North American Transformers superfans who find the ROM and ROM collections who are like, oh, what's this? Play the game for themselves, discover that it's unwieldy, to say the least. And so you start to get at least a little bit of a groundswell of negative reputation stirring around this game. But it is really formalized. It really comes to the forefront, really starts to mature with The Angry Video Game Nerd Season 4, Episode 8, released in the year 2009, his Transformers games episode, which briefly plays the Commodore 64, the second Commodore 64 game, but primarily focuses in on Mystery of Convoy. It's AVGN. We say a lot about the AVGN on this channel. This is before he had started making any sort of effort at going into the history of games, so you're not going to get any sort of extended insights or behind the scenes or anything like that in this episode. It's mostly just an excuse to build up to the ending sequence where his Famicom transforms into a Transformer, and then he tries to shoot it with the NES Zapper, but then it shoots a lightning bolt back at him, and this content does nothing for me at this point.
Oh no,
Is this
I thought it was
the
a cute
episode?
bit.
Is this the episode where he has the Billy Mitchell hot sauce?
Oh, it is. You're right. You're totally right. It is, where he says, if I want to get through this game, I'm going to look to Billy Mitchell, and modern jokes. There's a lot of comments on the video I'm going to cheat.
I've seen that edit. Yeah.
Incorporating another famous AVGN line. Whatever. I mean, it's inoffensive as far as episodes of the AVGN go. It doesn't traffic in any particularly egregious misinformation. So I'm sure if you are a AVGN superfan, this one is fine.
Yeah, it's a good comfort episode.
I will also mention at this point, previously, prior to the AVGN, that Transformers Mystery of Convoy was actually featured on Game Center CX, the famous Japanese gaming show. It was actually a DVD exclusive episode as part of the first DVD set released in 2005, because when it came to Game Center CX and its DVD releases, each DVD set of episodes had an exclusive episode made just for the DVD. And I should mention this for the historical record that Reno goes on to fail the challenge of beating Transformers Mystery of Convoy. So let's let that be known, let that be reflected. So we move along. The years pass. The reputation as a kusogē is firmly established, thanks in part to Game Center CX, AVGN, et al. And that brings us to this. I forgot to put the year here. What is 1986 plus 28? 2014. I don't do math, folks. 28 years after the release of Mystery of Convoy on the Famicom, the game was granted a reimagining of sorts as a mobile game for Android, iOS, et al., titled Q Transformers: Return of the Mystery of Convoy. This is developed by a studio DLE. The game serves as a thinly veiled promotional vehicle for a Takara toy line by the name of Korokyu, better known overseas as Penny Racers. In celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Transformers, Takara had seen fit to release a Korokyu line of Transformers toys, effectively rendering the robots in something like a cutesy chibi form. And so, this game features illustrated versions of the Q Transformer designs set in front of levels inspired by the original Famicom game, while the classic background music loops throughout. Unlike the original game, however, Return of the Mystery of Convoy is presented as a runner-type game where you can't stop your character from running forward. It does have boss fights, but it is mostly about like avoiding obstacles. And it is also indulges in intentionally difficult gameplay as a sort of homage to the original. There was also, because they couldn't help but cross-promote, they were releasing those Korokyu Q Transformers toys, and the toys, some of them would come with codes included in the box that you could use to unlock additional characters in the game, in the mobile game. Most of the information on this is, most of the information available on Transformers is available on the Transformers wiki, tfwiki.net, but there's also a video I want to shout out here, a commentated playthrough of Q Transformers Return of the Mystery of Convoy by the Proto Man Gaming channel, which I remember watching for the purposes of writing the article back in the day to get a sense for what the game was. So if you want a sense of what this game was, that's a good video. That's a good source to go to. But there's one more spin-off here before we get to the game that does warrant coverage, which is the subsequent anime adaptation of Q Transformers Return of the Mystery of Convoy. Because, yeah, every dogshit mobile game deserves a dogshit Flash animated tie-in. This series is little more than a crudely animated Flash cartoon to promote the toy line and mobile game. It aired for 26 episodes, each of them airing like for 3 to 4 minutes, I think, not particularly long episodes. These did manage to air on TV on the Tokyo MX station, but I believe they were primarily made for YouTube before coming out on DVD. I think that what they would do is they would put an episode up on YouTube for like a week or however long, and then they would unlist the episode or privatize it to put out the next episode. And they would keep that pattern going until the series finished airing over on YouTube, which is a way to do it. It's almost a clever way, I guess. The show, being a tie-in to Mystery of Convoy, or specifically Return of the Mystery of Convoy, is sort of a joke. It's a piss-take show. It's about comical discussions of both the Mystery of Convoy games, the original and the sort of remake, as well as commenting on the larger Transformers brand itself, often referencing how shameless and goofy the premise of the show they are starring in is actually. So very meta in a way that... That being said, the show actually does go into some detail about the design decisions made in developing the original Famicom game, as well as the subsequent mobile game app. For example, there's an episode titled Mystery of the Stage Bosses, which is dedicated entirely to discussing why the original developers at ISCO may have chosen the boss characters that they did for the game, with Optimus Prime's character in the show pointing out that it was really hard to make graphics stand out in the 8-bit format. And so the fact that 4 of the bosses in the NES game we're about to play are just, you fight the Decepticon logo, you fight the insignia, because, it's a big graphic they could draw that was, like, immediately recognizable. So they go into, like, some of the logic behind decisions like that, which is an interesting sort of turn for the show to take, and might make it, like, the authoritative source on Mystery of Convoy. I mean, they had those sales figures. This is the show that posited that the game only sold 61,000 units, which was not a number known to anyone else at that time. So it's basically the only number we have in terms of sales figures for the game, and it comes from this cartoon, which is basically taking the piss. And I also want to point out the second episode of the show. This is what the show looks like, more or less, by the way. The second episode of the series, titled Mystery of Reliably Crappy Games, which makes a somewhat passionate argument for the original Mystery of Convoy is not actually being a kusogē, but rather a, quote, unreasonable game, which is a different delineation in terms of the, there's bakugē, kusogē, and there's, like, I think unreasonable game is another one that was, like, sort of brewing. I don't remember what the abbreviation, the shorthand, the portmanteau for that is. But, they're just trying to get away from the kusogē classification, except not really. Basically, it's Optimus Prime's character taking charge and defending the title, who argues that entertainment is subjective and that difficulty shouldn't be the determining factor for their game rates as being bad. I don't actually think the show was seriously intending to dissuade anyone from referring to the original Mystery of Convoy as being a kusogē, since that legacy is kind of what the show and the remake game are banking on to begin with, the fact that it was a legendary kusogē. But, it's still an interesting subject matter to see an official piece of Transformers media try to broach. And yeah, that's basically where Mystery of Convoy leaves off. That basically sets up us playing the game tonight. I do have one more slide, and it is just a piece of art that I commissioned for the old article back in the day. You can see that cowboy hat on the robot there. I think is that Ultra Magnus? Is that the character that was drawn here? You'd have to ask KS Shazer, who I have their Twitter URL. I'm sure they've moved on to something else at this point. I'm checking their website. It has a resolves in the dead link. Is their card still up? Yes, it is. Okay, there we go. Als is the name they go by now. Sorry if I haven't been in touch for a minute, but the cool art that they did for the article. Thank you to them for this art. So yeah, before we get to the game, I just want to quickly take a pulse here. Did either of y'all learn anything about the game that you did not already know? Anything interesting? Anything of note that you want to highlight here?
Honestly, I didn't know it got that low a review in Famicom. Famitsu.
Yeah, it's because it's not archived anywhere, because no one has bothered to record those Famitsu scores or reviews. I did the digging myself to find those, so...
If only Famitsu the magazine or one of their staff members was featured in the game, then they would have got a perfect 40.
I think the same issue, that issue 13 of Biweekly Famitsu is also one that has a in-depth feature on All-Star Nippon Mario Bros. Has like multiple pages and multiple bios for like all the different hosts of All Night Nippon. So yeah, I think they go on to review that one pretty highly, if they even review it at all. But it certainly gets like, the full multi-page treatment because of their enamorment by celebrity and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most unbiased source, Famitsu, as it turns out.
Yeah. No, I didn't know there was a crossover with the Kyoryuger cars. People might know Road Trip Adventures on PlayStation 2, the like JRPG car game. That's that series. I kind of want to watch that Q Transformers show. It reminds me of the Phantasy Star Online 2 commie, like Flash Finn, which I have some fondness for. And hearing them go like that meta with the original game, that seems cute. That might be my favorite media Transformers if I watch it.
I believe the TF Wiki at a certain point in time had translations for all of the episodes, just posted as like, plain text. I think they've since redone those pages to not include the full scripts of each episode, so I don't know if there is like a subtitled version of the show that exists anywhere. I would hope so. I think it would probably be a good resource. Probably should have rewatched. If I had the time, I would have rewatched it, the whole thing through. It wouldn't have taken super long. It's like the fucking Spelunker animated Flash tie-in series that came out at a moment in time where it was just kind of like, like I said, it's a piss take. It's like a joke, but, it also like has some loving homage to the original property, to the original games being referenced in both the Spelunker anime and in the case of Mystery of Convoy, Return to the Mystery of Convoy. Stupid title. Stupid game. And we're going to play it starting now. But before we do, as mentioned, I want to reiterate, no flashing. This game, the original release of this game, flashes like a motherfucker. Just flashing colors of the most egregious variety. We have a hack that removes the screen flashing. That, again, comes to us courtesy of Macobra52 and is available here for the benefit of folk who maybe want to play this one themselves afterwards. You can also get English translations of the game. I didn't bother with those. I didn't bother English patching this. But we do have translations of the ending screens for as many of those as we'll get to see tonight. And I also want to mention that, on this show, in the course of playing games, I tend to make liberal use of a rewind functionality in RetroArch, our emulator that we use to play these for the purposes of the show. I'm going to try to not do that. This game's difficulty is legendary, and to just rewind through every encounter that goes badly is not going to be an accurate depiction of the game. So I'm going to try...
No more fooling around!
to not avail myself of it too much. I'm going to use it certainly for some things I want to show off in some of the stages. There's a few instances where I'm going to have to use it just to, like, you know, to show something off and then rewind it before I showed it off, for example. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We will see how long I can keep this gimmick up.
Yeah. Guessing 20 minutes.
This theme, I believe, is the theme to Transformers 2010, which is not a 2010 animated series, but it was like the Japanese name for one of the Transformers series airing at the time.
Like Street Fighter 2010.
Nope, this is the demo rolling. No lives. Will they live?
Yeah. I don't remember them, but I think most of the music in this is chiptune renditions of the Japanese like OP, like opening endings.
This seems to be the strategy.
Yeah, you can get through this first stage just by running to a point.
Well,
Never mind.
And this is where the screen would flash first, for the first of many times. But we are spared.
Oh.
All right, so let's get in game. So we start forward. Okay, so
kills, huh?
Obviously that is, you know, we should probably be shooting right out the gate here. Probably shouldn't have tried to jump that first projectile. I should probably just be just shooting out the gates. You can't shoot them when they touch the ground. When they transform into an Decepticon, they are too short for you to shoot. That is a game over. So there was a bit of a legend around this game. There was early footage of this game. Some of the earliest footage uploaded to YouTube of this game is of the game starting. 0 lives on the lives counter, which is not true. You get 2 lives to start the game off with, as shown by his title screen, but there's an edit of it that just makes it look like you run forward, die immediately, and the game is over. Now I'll play the game for real. Now I will make an attempt. Okay. So, enemies in this game, they do transform, they do shoot. It is hard to see their projectiles against the background. You do get some moments of invincibility where they're flashing and you can run through them.
It looks like they're guaranteed to transform if you shoot them in the air. Like, you cannot take down a plane, right?
I thought I had shot that. You need to stop that by shooting it.
Yeah. Well, spoilers for a bit, but we will need to take down a jet in a bit.
Yes, not these ones.
Yeah.
Not easy. 1-hit deaths, unless we pick up a power-up that gives us, like, 3 hits we can take. So, I will keep trying.
Nice.
For 86, this doesn't look awful. For 86, these graphics are kind of okay for the Famicom. Remember, this is, like, still, like, very early goings for the Famicom before mapper chips were in vogue. So most games were still, like, relatively, like, simple single-screen affairs. You know, Super Mario Bros. Did change a lot. As far as, like, advancing the tech and the design and whatnot, but...
I'll say that the music renditions are also pretty good. I did briefly look up footage of that Famicom Disk System game, the second one. Sounds awful. Like, real bad, stereotypical, just like chiptune noise.
Let's transform. If we hold down, we can transform into the truck.
You can shoot... Oh, wait. You can shoot forward.
Yeah, but it's not very effective, because only the explosion registers.
You do look more like a fire truck.
Yeah. Even
Are
looks
you a
like
fire
a shooting,
truck?
like...
Well, we are playing as
playing
Ultra
as-
Magnus.
Right. What does Ultra Magnus transform into? You know what? I'll look that up.
You look that up. So the title screen here, where you see the head of Optimus Prime explode and turn into Ultra Magnus, most players just assume that this is Optimus Prime that you're playing as.
Yeah.
But that is not the case. You have to play this game so methodically, is the secret of it. Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Let's see how long I can keep this up. This is one of the power-ups. No! Oh, God damn you. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Jesus wept.
Oh, they're very close. They swoop in real quick.
Fuck it, just run. Just run. Just run and keep burst firing. Except this, I want that. I want the power-up.
Yeah. Do keep an eye out for an orange.
I forgot to
enemy,
jump.
Hey,
You want to give this shit a shot? You want to...
no. I'm just saying, all right, as in I found the answer. That
Great.
kind of Ultra Magnus turns into a cab-over semi-trailer truck. So, I guess...
Joe
gonna
Real in
have
chat
to,
says, this is just like the movie. Lots and lots of death.
I'm gonna have to call out the Transformers wiki in the fact that I feel like if you have a Transformers wiki,
Wait, hold on.
one of the first...
Is that the one? No, sorry.
No. Wait for an orange enemy, and then it'll be the next jet.
Okay, so what we're looking for, that D is a power down. Collecting that takes away whatever upgrades you have. So know that. What we are
Fun.
looking for, some of these stages, several of the stages have this. Letters that spell out the name Rodimus. God damn it. And we need to collect all those to get the true ending of the game. I think collecting it once means we have it. We'll find out. I'll kill that enemy again and see what happens.
So the thing I want to call out the wiki for is I feel like if you're running a wiki for Transformers, one of the first bits of information that you should provide is what does the Transformer transform into?
Fuck.
That should really not be information I really have to scour the page for. Or go to an entirely separate page for the toys just to see, like, it turned into this.
Whatever, man. Something I did, I held down A, B, and start during the game over screen. If you do that, you do get to continue. So we can skip the title screen, and we can actually continue the game. We can make it past this first stage, past a certain point.
Yeah, as was the start of the game. As was the start of the time. A lot of these games you had to hold weird button combinations to continue, like at the stage you're at.
It's purely a strategy guide selling gimmick.
Yeah.
You have so little time, and the controls are fine. I forgot to hold down A, B, start.
Yeah, sounds silly, but I didn't know about the left plus start thing in Super Mario Bros. On NES for a long time.
Okay, no more fucking around.
A little fucking around.
It's the jump. I mean, like, you're locked in, basically. You don't have, like, necessarily great air control.
Yeah,
so if you hesitate, you can't hesitate at all in this game, basically. You have to be moving forward for the sole purpose of, like, just being committed at all times, is what I would say.
It kind of looks like your, like, ground speed affects, like, how much mobility and movement you have in the air as well. So, like, when you're at a standstill, if you jump, you're not moving that much left and right.
Luckily, the tanks don't shoot. Fuck. There we go. Okay, orange enemy coming up. Ooh, those bullets just blend right in, huh? Ugh.
Huh. Wait, was that... I guess this enemy just keeps appearing until you kill it?
Those are, you can shoot certain tiles and they'll show, they'll reveal point pickups. If you pick up 10,000 points, you get a 1-up. 20,000 points for 1-ups thereafter. Okay, thank God.
A Unicron.
Not yet. there would be a screen flash here that we are being spared. And that's
Yeah.
stage 1 of 10.
Yay!
So who was that boss?
You tell me.
Devilstar, apparently.
Okay.
Okay, so there'll be a second group of floating grey bridges about midway through the stage, just before the orange warp zone jet. Which, yeah, there's also level warping.
Yes, I intend to show that off real quick.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot
This
of
is a
the-
barrier. We get 3 free hits with this, and you can tell we have it active
yeah.
because of the song that plays. So that's a godsend.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the Romulus letters are very close to warp places in a couple of levels.
Hold on, I think I need that one. Ah, you can't rely on the diagonal, and it wasn't worth it anyway. I think this must be.
Oh, that was funny seeing that tank just like jump up to the platform.
Oh,
There you go.
Rodimus.
Oh,
You're noticing how there's like top and bottom paths you can take, and oftentimes these are traps.
It's not. It's not like Super Mario Brothers Maze. levels?
No, that's a later stage. Is the Mario Bros.
Okay.
Maze?
see Magic Mouse in chat saying this is some dog shit music. Go look up the Disk System
Fuck.
sequel.
Ceiling, lousy ceiling.
The bar goes much lower, trust me. Like I said, I believe all these are like Japanese opening and ending songs.
I would love the power up again. Not this power down. That can go to hell. If I got one more kill, I get a 1-up. I think. Here we go. Hold on. I want to see if I need to collect the O again, because I think this is the...
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they give me a 1-up instead, which is handy enough.
right.
Well, I'll use it immediately.
Immediately useful.
God, some of those projectors are so tiny.
No, that's the real big pain point of this game. It's the fact that
Yeah.
enemies appear on screen so quickly, the projectiles move quickly, but worst of all, they just... With the ghosting of a CRT, especially.
Imagine how much worse it would be if, like, the star field in the background was scrolling.
Oh, yeah, they could have done
Yeah.
worse. There's always a way to make it worse.
Oh,
It's okay, I have the shield on.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also had some
Yeah, yeah.
slowdown there. The game really tanked for a fucking second there.
No, Megatron's the tank.
Oh, sorry. Of course. How stupid of me.
I could see this though as being one of the one of the games where slowdown would probably be welcome in some cases.
Back to the beginning of the stage. I couldn't jump because the gray platform was impermeable. Luckily, holding down the buttons.
Yep.
We'll start from stage 2.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact episode, but Speaker Game Center CX on the one English release
Whoops.
proper DVD that came out. It's a great bit where there's like a continue code, and Arena forgets it so many times. At one point, they have like a ritual where each staff member walks him through using the continue code. It's such a good bit.
Two things. One, when you use the continue code, does that save your progress with the Rodimus letters?
I need to check if it saves this letter, but yes.
Okay.
It should save the R from stage 1.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And second thing is say something nice.
Oh, another one.
Is that the one you needed to check?
Yeah. I think it's hard because these stages all blend together because there's there is attempts at signposting at having not unique level geometry necessarily, but there are like
Real quick, if you could test something for me. Question from chat, you can ask, can you pause the game? As in, all right, that's your say something nice. It has a pause feature built in.
great,
Hey.
thank you. That's a freebie for me.
Yeah, take what you get.
I mean, not all games had pause features, so that is a nice thing to have.
Oh yeah, shout out to Mylon's Well, no, Minor Secret Castle has one. It just punishes you for not using it.
Louis PSC asks, if you forget, is it back to level 1? Yes, it would be back to the beginning of the game if you forget to. You know, I guess the goal for mastery of this game would be to beat it without having to use the continue code. It would just be to beat it in one sitting.
This isn't going to be like Akari Warriors, where the continue code stops working on the final level, right?
No. Thank God.
That'd be really funny.
Also, if you die during a boss fight, you will pick up from the beginning of the boss fight when you use the continue code. So every level has an end of level boss, and that is a godsend to have that. You may be noticing we're not doing a lot of transforming. That's because the tank is fucking useless. Or the truck form is...
that is the curse of a lot of Transformers games, to be honest, is that they struggle to make the transforming worthwhile.
Okay. We needed to collect the O again.
Yeah. Oh! I'm glad you somehow were able to make that jump still. That might be my say something nice. That was shockingly forgiving for this game.
Okay, I need to show this off real quick.
Huh?
Okay, is it going to take a couple tries, probably. See this enemy?
Nope.
There'll be screen flashing here. Huh? Stage 4, level skip. Now...
okay, that's a fun animation.
Level skip locked in the bad ending.
Yes, precisely. Because you would not be able to collect all the letters if you utilize this level skip, and there's another one later. So, we're going to have to... goodbye, my friend.
Some kisses coming from off screen.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Keep thinking that was the lips from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Wouldn't it be great if it had checkpoints? Wouldn't it just be so great if there was a mid-level checkpoint there? Oh well.
Look, in the 80s, being able to pick up from the stage was considered a checkpoint, so...
Brutal. Yeah, this game earns its reputation as being ball-bustingly difficult. That was a no-win scenario. I had to dodge the bullet that was coming from below, and I guess I could have reacted in a millisecond in a frame to go back in the hole. And again, I think part of the problem is that I seem to be constantly moving. The slowing down just gives them more opportunities to spawn more enemies in. So I think I'm like falling into a beginner's trap by even attempting to... It's a short game, folks, so we're gonna get it out to. We're gonna get to 3 hours in this episode by sheer force of fucking will here.
Mutant 1988 asks, so do you think they would have made this more difficult to not make it beatable in a single rental if it's localized outside Japan? I feel like that work's been done for them already. But you never know with some companies.
You know what?
Yeah,
Hey!
but you have to kill this thing. Oh, never mind. The other thing. I keep forgetting which one.
Yeah, it's very easy to mix those two up, isn't it?
No, I could see the continue code being taken out. That did happen in some stuff around this time. And oh heck, honestly, Konami loved messing with their games for the North American releases at this time.
Just brute force it. Just run.
Yep.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hey, guess what? Same boss.
Devilstar. For the two of them.
You have to time jump shots for this because none of the platforms put you on the level to shoot the target.
Yep.
Alright, so I know the thing in the center tastes like almond. What do you think the cookie around it tastes like?
Dirt.
Oh, nougat, maybe.
Okay, stage 3. The first of the vertical stages.
Yep.
And there's something I forgot to mention in the article, and that is not pointed out in the guide or in most sources on this game that just exist in general. All right, this is the stage where we got to go up. Okay. Bear with me a second here.
Oh, is that the is that a cassette?
Hold on.
No.
I have to test something. You can kill enemies to turn them into platforms. Okay, it's not this. I'm going to be testing a few different spots. I know what I'm looking for, and again, it's severely underdocumented to the point where like I can't really rely on anyone else to help me find this shit, but I can just skip that. I don't need to fight that. I don't need to kill everything.
Honestly, that that might have been a case where the truck would have actually been useful.
Yeah, these vertically scrolling stages are an attempt to mix things up slightly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will mention we don't have to worry about Romulus later on this stage.
Yeah. Bear with me. I'm using the rewind because this is, not essential. I just want to save some amount of time here to show this off. Not this one.
And yeah, you're right. The one FAQ, proper FAQ of this on Game FAQs does not mention anything special on this stage.
Oof. Okay. These stages are considerably easier. I mean, they're tedious because it's all about like slowly scrolling the screen up.
Yeah.
In order to, that's not gonna hit me, right? Cool. Then dodge that. It's got to be this one. Okay. Can I get back up there? Do I have to minimize rewind? Let me see if this is just humanly possible. I'm gonna make it closer. I want to be closer to the platform when I kill that thing. That way, there's just less in the way of. Trust me, this will be worth it.
Yeah, that really is like the quintessential like bad NES platforming design to me. Is like any jumps where you start bumping your head on shit.
Bonus stage. Opportunity to earn a bunch of points. So, who the fuck is this guy? Well, this is a little mystery in and of itself. This is mentioned in the strategy guide for the game, the official strategy guide, where he is referred to as the strange old man. There is no information about him beyond that. He appears twice in the game, here on level 3 and then again in level 6. There is speculation. Pure speculation here based on the song that plays in this guy's graphic here, that this is a reference to a series of TV commercials starring one Carl Oji-san, the mascot for a line of snacks from the Meiji brand titled Carl Snacks. And during his commercials, I'm going to show this image to the folk at home to show what we're generously interpreting here as being this guy. So bear with me momentarily while I bring.
Tara's like, we don't know who this guy is either. He just keeps showing up on our games. We don't program him in.
Yeah.
He just shows up.
See the resemblance?
Header, get on the case.
Eh?
Yeah.
Eh? So that's the best guess. And the song that plays here is vaguely reminiscent of a song that plays during the commercials as well. There's a compilation of those commercials that I'll link to here. So that is the best guess, because this is certainly not a character from a previous ISCO game, because there were no previous ISCO games to pull from. So, yeah, just an anomaly. And, of course, you can die during the screen, and it doesn't cost you, luckily.
I'm Headful says, Transformers Wiki, get on it. No, we were pulling that information from the Transformers Wiki.
Yeah, they did have that on there. Credit to them. On the Strange Old Man page.
I do want to see Odd Header make it creepiest unknown characters found in video games video. It's that guy. No one knows who this is.
The first Decepticon,
was that guy
Mark. Easy fight.
In that mobile game version of this?
That's a good question. We have to consult a Proton Gaming man. Stage 4, where is the Rodimus letter here? I do not remember the Rodimus letter locations, so it is absolutely necessary that... I would love to get a power-up. I don't think these guys are going to give it to me. Johnny!
I see Johnny's looking.
Yeah, there's a bit more of a lead up to this one.
Well, just so we know in advance.
Yeah, so... this level has a bit of a different gimmick. You'll jump ledge to ledge until you reach a structure. You need to transform into a vehicle mode to get inside.
Yeah, I know that stuff vaguely. Take that power down. There is a power-up I can get on this stage, starting from this stage, where you get a jetpack so you can fly around the screen, which is immensely useful.
Yeah, the first jet you see inside that structure will have the letter.
So the first jet we see in here, I guess.
Yeah, when you drop down, because apparently enemy... oh, I probably shouldn't say.
Can't kill them until they... Okay. I'm inching it forward because I expect it to be...
Yeah.
Gotcha. I gotcha, Jet. Give me your letter.
Well, it gives me another chance to get killed. I was going to say another chance to kill that first jet and hopefully get the jetpack or barrier or any sort of power-up that would help to make this stage more tolerable. No, I'm just going to die in the same exact way in the same exact spot. A-B start. This game's a ball buster. Okay, how about I go up here? Yep, I'll dodge that shot. Then... You know, take it. Yep, perfect.
Oh, nice. That was good dodge there. Even though you had the barrier. 1.
Okay.
Avoid the gobstoppers.
I think he was too
Another
close to the
Yeah,
obstacle
let me
there.
double-check.
Yep. So if I kill him while he's inside of this, the letter won't spawn. You can tell
Oh.
by the score counter that we did not get it the first time. So, Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, I legit thought I did something wrong there.
I thought that because you killed him when he was inside of you, that it didn't count.
Yeah.
I think I would have just collected the... Fuck. I should have known. I should have just backed up sooner. But then I would have gotten by the orb there, so... If I can just get that barrier again, I'll just run like my life depends on it, because it does. No, great. Power down. Thanks, game. Don't even have anything to power down. There we go.
Oh. Even when you got the barrier, I get worried every time you get that close.
Isn't that shot so sick? Isn't that such a great attack for the tank to have? It's that and shooting up. I just hit that with my head, and that's fine. Okay. I think there's another part where I have to use the truck mode here coming up. How do I trigger
Nice
this
F.
again? That should be the fly mode. It may not work while I'm inside of here. It might be like I have to like... There we go.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Yeah, you activate that in midair at the crest of your jump. And don't mind if I fucking do. Just... You don't even get the game over screen here, but whatever. I can just do that boss like that. Great. Stage 5. Tell me what I gotta know.
Yep.
I'm Headful says you keep the letters after you die, right? Unless you game over.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first jet after the first asteroid base when a metallic structure is built into the asteroid.
Is that? It doesn't mean I stopped because I want to see if it's that ship that you're referring to. So I'm going to try this a couple times, just to make sure.
Oh,
No, okay, not that. Okay,
Yeah.
so I could have taken the death there, but
I'm
I
also
freed me from the
noticing-
curse. Thank you. Ah.
It might be that ship. You know,
Yeah.
it's a strong possibility. It could be that ship there.
Yeah. Also, it seems to depend on the enemies, but some of the enemies seem to have very small hitboxes. They have, like, bullet hell player hitbox, where it's only, like, their middle pixel that seems to take damage sometimes.
Oh, I had the jetpack, but then I got. Luckily, I remember my code. It's a code of honor that I have here. As I've made the stupid decision to not use rewind. I swear to God I was mashing the jump button and dropped the inputs. I swear I was pressing that button.
Yep.
I think it was something to do with the moving platform and the timing on it.
There's no input, viewer. You can't prove otherwise.
Oh, you bastard! You son of a bitch. Remember, folks, you can play this one for yourselves with no flashing if you get that patch. Though I don't recommend it.
Is Is there an extra flashing patch?
Transformers Mystery of Convoy for
That one.
super
Okay,
players.
is that it?
Yay! There's not a warp in this
Oink.
stage too, right?
Let me check because that's a different part of the FAQ. No, stage 7.
Gotcha. Hey, we're double powered up. I'm gonna go under. It's because I don't trust. And over. Oh, okay, yep. Slow my roll. We had the barrier. Okay, there we go.
There we
Hey,
go.
this is more like a robot.
Yeah, that's cool.
And luckily, the
That's,
moving platforms put me in a primo position. I'm sure there is something out there, some resource that tells you what each of those bosses are.
I think that's Menasor. Maybe?
That's what chat says, so I'll
No,
take your word for it.
Yeah, maybe.
So we're doing the same. This is stage 3. In case you didn't flag it, this is just stage 3 again.
Step up, we go down. Mutant98 asks if the decision to animate the show in Flash inspired the flashing in the game. I don't know, Japanese developers at the time just loved doing flashing. Like, Zelda 2 is infamous for it when you get a game over.
Yeah, and then they only stopped in like 97 or like late 90s with that Pokemon episode, the Porygon, Electric Soldier Porygon, is where they finally realized that epilepsy is a thing. Jesus, the timing on this might be
And then
frame
CD
perfect.
And then CD Projekt Red bravely brought it back for Cyberpunk. And they were like, what if we did that on purpose, but like super on purpose?
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't forget Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah, where they,
That was a mistake.
that was a mistake,
was a-
yes. I swear I'm gonna get this. Because there's no, like, I have no recourse here. There's nothing I can do to, like, soften that, to make a bigger gap, to, like, shoot down. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, you have an arcing shot.
God damn
Hey!
it. Finally a use for that stupid thing. Okay. That's where the Easter egg would have been in level 3. But it's in a slightly different spot in this level. I have to remember exactly where still. I know it's on the left-hand side, as you may have gathered from me attacking the left-hand side. Yeah, I even got a bonus one down there. Perfect. Oh, and now time to get killed. Oh. There we go. And I think if it's not that, it might be here.
Oh, some of these jumps you're trying to make. There you go.
Remember, this is the quickest way to get 1-ups in this game, because each of these is worth 1,000
Yep.
points. And every 10,000 or 20,000. But, you know. And now it respawns all the
Yeah.
enemies. Brutal. Anyway, let's just get this stage over and done with. Jesus wept.
So, there's another secret old man, or strange old man secret in the game. In stage 10, but the entrance is blocked by a wall, but it's technically there.
Superman.
Maze solved. We're not even up to the maze stage yet. Wait for stage 9.
Yep.
All
Oh
right,
yeah, I noticed
continue
there
code.
was
Cool.
there was one other thing on game FAQs, and there was a map for that stage.
Yeah, we will need that. Ooh. Yeah, the projectiles in this one are a little trickier. I think I'm just going to stand on this platform and spam shots.
Oh yeah. Weird. This is the boss that seems to have more health than the others.
It's nice. Again, I feel like that's been on a shorter cooldown than usual.
That's a nice rendition of the logo.
I mean, the boss characters are, you know, they're where the actual like source material. I think they are the most like clear homages to this being Transformers. You know,
You know what? I'm gonna steal one from this FAQ. That the enemies here appear to be Predacons from the G1 show, not Beast Wars, which is a nice touch since the only other basic enemy that looks anything like some from the show, the Jets.
okay, I think I can do this until. Oh, you know
I'll
what?
take their word for it. Yeah,
Also,
the
yeah,
Romulus-
where's the thing on this stage?
Yep, It is held by the third silver jet. Ignore the orange ones. This enemy is some ways into the level after the second Predacon.
Forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, am I
saw that.
late?
Oh,
Did I miss my
that.
cue?
Son of a bitch. Yeah, so that's an enemy that shows up in this level, this emerging from the ground. Ah, well, missed that power-up. I missed a lot of power-ups in this game.
It's weird because the fire rate's not low, but it's so hard to hit enemies sometimes.
Yeah, the hitboxes are fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how these white bullets are coming up against a white backdrop here.
Oh!
Yeah.
Hey, the power-up does affect the truck shot, though. It does give you a diagonal arc on it as well, so that's handy. All the more I forgot to turn into a truck. I mean, it's perfect for... Okay. Just keep moving until
Remember,
the
Time to
moment...
see the second one. Guy's gonna... Yep.
You have awoken me after thousands of years of slumber.
Oh no! Oh no! What was that thing? I couldn't
you
see
didn't-
it. It was white.
You
The
didn't-
sprite
you
was
didn't See
white.
the white enemy on the white background? You're not gonna survive around polar bears, let me tell you.
Oh, great. Power down. Thanks, game. Assholes. Oh, I couldn't stop. I was holding backwards. I was trying to slow, but I couldn't because there's momentum, because it's a truck.
It's ice. Slippery.
It's stopping.
You gotta get your snow tires out.
Take that. Start preemptively slowing my roll.
Ooh, barrier.
Okay. Well, I'll take that hit. I think I'll take that hit too. You know what? I don't want to be in truck form because those things, if they're gonna keep spawning those, and these, then
That comes off like they were designing a level and they picked up, oh, okay, people are going to turn into the truck for this. So let's put something in, fuck with them.
yeah, because you can get through the first stage. I think there's a way to do it where you're just in truck mode and you avoid all encounters. Oh, that was the other warp, by the way. Let's show that off.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'd have to kill him. I'd have to follow up. I'd have to tag the shot here with as he flies off in the other direction. So there we go. This would be where the screen is flashing.
Oh,
and
wait,
then,
never
yeah.
mind.
It is
I keep
really funny
expecting
how
to get
hard...
in the car.
Yeah.
And this will take you to stage 9, so it would skip a single stage for you to the worst stage in the game. But again, we're trying to get the proper ending here.
Has that ever happened in the show? Has a Transformer small enough got inside another Transformer when they're in car mode? Is that weird? Does that happen?
I'm sure that's
Fuck,
happened.
hold
Like,
on. I was stopping. I'm gonna give myself that one. I'm just gonna pause the game to show that's supposed to be the head of Optimus Prime, I think.
Yeah.
Right there. It's supposed to be like.
It does look like it, yeah.
We found him. There it is. Mystery solved.
There he is.
I feel like there's enough Transformers that are significantly bigger or smaller than other ones, so that's probably... I'm sure that's happened.
Yeah, I do remember there being, like, smaller ones in the show I watched as a kid.
Yeah, Volume Reasonable says Metroplex, kind of.
All right, another vertical stage.
All right. Okay. Drop down past the first opening on the left and into the next room where you'll find another opening on the left.
Got it. That's all I need.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the more specific ones.
Fuck.
Whoops.
I took for granted that there wouldn't be another one shooting, whatever is that, mate? Not this one. Okay. And certainly not there, right?
I'll also see Gundam Jehuti Kai in chat mentioning that Astro Chain in Gen 1 is also a TARDIS. So yeah, huge space inside that can fit multiple Transformers. Hell yeah. That's the kind of lore I want to hear about.
What, Doctor Who lore, you nerd?
No, but like goofy stuff in Transformers. Like, oh yeah, this one just is interdimensional space inside a Transformer, because why not?
Also, I'm so sorry, Johnny. You're gonna have to watch Doctor Who when we play the Doctor Who video game for
Ah,
Wii.
shit.
Yep. Because it ain't gonna be me.
It's probably not even going to be the David Tennant series, is it?
New song.
Yep. Secret room. Megatron. And we got
Oh,
the
I like
letter.
that shadow that you're casting when you jump up, or when anything goes up there.
Yeah, sprite limits. Hell of a thing. Okay. This is where the screen would flash again. We are spared that.
Just a little bit, please.
We are not spared
Home,
the hell of the stage. Oh, no.
Yeah. Or get one of those phone apps where let you control your flashlight on your phone and just set it to rapid flashing. Don't do that, actually.
Oh, God damn it. Okay. I'm
Going my ass
charting a
there.
course through this level. I'm gonna have to do that stage again, aren't I? I'm gonna have to do that little bonus room again. Okay, so I think I want to skip the fights here. Okay, that's gonna damage me if I do that. Okay.
I have some, not related to this, but some interesting news.
Oh,
here
do
that
tell.
I just saw on our Discord. So you know that new Super Mario Brothers movie is coming out. It'll be out by the time this is on YouTube, I think. But Super Mario Galaxy. It's not doing well in the critic reviews thus far.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's sitting at a 35 on Metacritic, which puts it on par with the rating for Super Mario Brothers, the 1993 movie.
Hell yeah.
Okay, their projectiles don't reach all the way.
Didn't know it had gotten that low. I think when I saw reports on it, it was around 50. I mean, yeah, I saw that first film, and it was just like, yeah, this is just recognize that Finn the movie.
Wait, hold on. Do I need to be a
So I'm
truck to go
surprised.
through here? Did I forget? Like, to
Yes,
Okay.
I bet you do.
You know what? I'll take the death then, in that case. Does anyone remember 5 minutes ago?
Oh, that's a big ask.
There is a way to do this relatively safely by shooting certain things, leaving other ones alive, but how quickly I forget. You know, thank God for that continue, right?
Yeah.
Fuck them for hiding it behind a whatever.
Yeah, weird button combos, yeah.
But I mean, that was the style at the time. That was literally just a ploy to sell strategy guides.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a mechanic retro game
I
channel.
keep
DS
forgetting.
Emulates. But
You
at
see-
least you get the magazines for free.
See, this is the problem. Is that I'm stupid. Is literally the problem here. Like, this isn't even like the game's difficulty or whatever. It's just me being forgetful, which I don't have an excuse for. I'm just.
Oh, we do have a fun fact in chat from Pro Striker 92. In Family Guy, Peter altered the name in Megan's birth certificate to Megatron. That is a fun fact, thank you.
Poor Meg, the most abused character in TV history. That's my Family Guy.
God, I
comments.
wonder if that Family Guy MMO will somehow be on stream one day. If anyone gets that.
I mean,
up and
I
running
played
again.
it. I could just give you an oral history of it. It wasn't good. You walked around
Yeah.
virtual Quag, and
I think.
there wasn't much to do in it.
Yeah.
You could pay
whenever I
before the game even launched. You could pay to be the dog, to be a dog class, to make your own dog character.
Yeah. No, whenever I think of that in Ted, I just think of hearing that Seth MacFarlane was doing promotion for Ted, and whenever people would ask him about the MMO, he would just be like, "Can't you ask me about Ted instead?"
Wait,
What happened to the secret?
yeah, I'm worried about this. I am now worried about this.
Yeah, I would say rewind.
Yeah, I'm gonna
actually.
rewind. I'm gonna, just for safety's sake. I don't know for sure here if this has invalidated the ending. But just for the sake of not having to replay the entire game, let's just do it to where.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. I showed that I can get to the end of the level. That was the end of the level. I'm just gonna show here that I'm gonna cheat my way through the rest of this just to be safe, unless I get this perfectly. Okay, so much for perfectly. But yeah, just sorry, folks. I demonstrated that I could do it from top to bottom, but we gotta keep the show moving.
We just Is it that you have to go down like a very specific path that you have to go down?
No, I think
To
maybe
the left?
generously, I'm gonna say the game recognized this as having a letter in that scenario, and I just, you know, in the abundance of caution, did something unnecessary. But I'd rather do something unnecessary and just take the blow as someone who's bad at video games than potentially fuck us out of the ending. So,
All right, now we're at this part.
okay. So I'm just gonna play this like a normal stage at first, just for funsies. Let's just pretend like this is a normal stage in this video game. Hey, I can even fly. Ah, well.
Well, just like a normal stage in this video game.
You know, true to form. I was kind of hoping for a barrier that time. Ah, well. Well, we'll start from stage 9 at the very least. I'll just keep rolling the die on that first thing being a barrier, honestly. You know what? Good enough. If I can find room to fly.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little confused where the Romulus letter is here because the FAQ mentions the only jet enemy, but you've already killed one.
No,
So
I
maybe
know
there's like a second screen.
You're just gonna guide me through the maze in this one. I think it might be
That
this
it?
one, to be fair. Hold on. No, that'd be a
Nope.
power down. It's gonna be this spot. I can tell you it's gonna be this spot. On a second pass of this level. But first we have to finish this level. Get the fuck away from me. Letter S.
There it is. Oh, that's all of them in it.
This would be all of them. Okay, so I guess the letter
Now you
wasn't
can
in the
finish the
spot
level.
I designated. I guess that was just... That's where the Easter egg is. The horrible Easter egg in this game. Alright, that stage clear, and... So, Johnny, walk me
Yeah.
through this. This is like those levels in Super Mario Bros. It's like
Yeah,
the castle levels where you have to go through very prescribed paths, except this is way more elaborate than any of those
Yeah,
castle
like
levels.
yeah, turned up to 11. Yeah.
Now,
So
do you keep
first-
the letter, by the way?
We'll find out. We'll play it safe and
Yeah,
get
so
it again.
Yeah. So first you want to go down the bottom path, and that's including past this orange enemy. Now you want to jump up, and then go down again. So still bottom path.
So, this way?
Yep. Now top path.
Oh. From the top.
God. And that enemy placement is like the path you would avoid as well.
I hate it. It hurts so bad. Hurts so good. It kills me not being able to get that power up. Whatever it might be. Okay. Top path here.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
There's
down...
a tricky bit. Yep.
Down a little to the left, turn into a truck, and go under that bit.
Yeah, under the it turns out you could go through these pillars. That's really egregious.
Yes. Can I grab that? Do you think it's safe to grab that? We're gonna find
No
out.
idea, but let's find out.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Bottom
then,
half still.
but you need to kill these 3 enemies here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently that's important to get the key.
Oh, you lost whatever that
Yeah, I
thing
lost
was.
it. That's the Takara logo. It is
Oh.
historically.
Oh, I didn't even track that
Yeah.
as the car logo. I thought it was a
Oh
key.
yeah. Thankfully it was poorly rendition enough we couldn't tell. So yes, stay on the bottom half,
For a little bit.
and then after this platform, go up to the middle,
Mhm.
and then middle
Stay
again.
on the middle path.
Yep.
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 Okay.
Now,
And then-
top half.
Mhm.
Get
There
the
it
S.
Middle path, you said?
Top
No,
half.
top.
Top half.
Yeah.
Thank God I asked for clarification there.
Next, you're gonna go middle
Mhm.
and middle.
God, this is, this is so specific.
Jump onto that
Top.
the lip of that thing and then go to the top.
Yep.
And then go to the middle and hang in the middle for the rest of the level.
Yeah.
Imagine trial and erroring this bullshit.
Yeah.
Imagine having to solve for that without getting any clues or hints or indications one way
then game over
or
here.
another. Then game over here. That's important. That's key. Okay. This is Megatron, by the way. I can tell you that one for free. This is Megatron.
Yeah.
Not again. It's because there is like space to jump up there, just not as much as you need, and also the homing
I just realized you're
projectiles.
hitting the edge of the screen at the top there.
Mm-hmm. Doing that the whole game.
Boo is me. Okay. Yep, top of the screen. I thought I had a little more room to play with, but I should just know. In fact, I'm going to change my platform. That did not help.
Oh, I see. These are tracking as well.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stay on the back platform and have to just get... Oh, no, I can't stay on the back platform because then I don't have enough range in my projectiles.
Yeah, not enough bullet travel.
I think I got one shot there. Ooh, there we go.
Nice.
Last stage. Is it up or
Hey,
down?
it's this one again.
Yeah,
Maybe it is
no.
up this time.
Can't beat a classic. Yep. Oof. Yeah, so the old man thing, as mentioned, would have been hidden. Like it's technically like coded into the stage, but they just put a wall in front of it to make sure you can't get to it, which is rude. What if I want to say goodbye to Oji-san? I'm stupid. I'm gonna get this. Come hell or high water. Okay, I want to get on the left. What? Oh, no. There we go. Chō! Rude is what that is. It's the fact that you have, like, no indication until the second that, the screen scrolls into place. Okay. It's playing it super safe, which means that we're going to waste all the more time when I inevitably die here and have to redo all this.
Yeah. Yeah, they are a bit rude with how the screen scrolling at the top works here. I feel like even Castlevania, when they do the scrolling levels, it scrolls more when you're in the middle than this. Oh, I could just tell how awkward the jumping is there.
I wanted to just jump on the left, but that's clearly not possible.
Yeah. It's always tricky to really convey bad controls, but this is one I feel like just looking at it, you can feel it.
It's slippery. It's not the worst controls in a game of this era. Is this fucking invincible? No, it just takes an inordinate number of shots.
Yeah.
Versus the regular.
Yeah, it's just interesting, like, just watching the movement actually does... I can sense how this controls more so than some other games.
Yep, that's what I fucking thought. Okay. Beautiful. That one's going to be tricky, because I have to get up on that platform to hit it, right? And I also need to not get my head hit. Got lucky there.
Oh, that's interesting. When you scrolled the screen, its shot angle changed.
Oh, it's tracking to some extent. It's not like a static firing position. Okay.
Having to do short hops to scroll the screen. That's really funny.
It feels like defusing a fucking bomb, honestly.
Yeah.
It also spawns the enemies underneath me, so if you scroll the screen down, enemies are coming back that you killed the first time.
Oh, okay, so because we haven't seen it, so hypothetically, if you fell down, you wouldn't fall into like a death plane. It would just scroll back down, right?
Yes. Final boss.
I will say
Trypticon.
I do like that because it always felt very bullshit in those vertical scrolling Castlevania stages where if you fell past a scroll, something you would die, even though technically there's a platform below there.
You killed Trypticon.
We win. Wait.
Whoa.
Do I know-
Whoa.
Hey, do I know any Japanese enough to translate this?
Oh,
No.
you can try, but I have the translation here, so I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, no, I don't know any of these words, unfortunately.
Okay. So if we had gotten the bad ending, the text on the screen would read, if we had failed to collect all the Rodimus letters, that is, on a playthrough, the text here would read, Emergency Directive. Thanks to their new strength, the Destrons have made a powerful return. Take Rodimus's Energon cubes and crush the Destrons once again. Scramble, Ultra, Magnus, is what it would say the first time through. That is supposed to be your clue to collect the Rodimus letters. Now, having collected the Rodimus letters, the screen reads, Magnus has won the final battle. However, a new battle approaches before you. Go, Rodimus! Attack! Rodimus, Convoy. Yeah, second playthrough of the game begins here.
Hey.
The second quest, very much the same as the first. In fact, it's identical. In fact, it
Identical,
is
yeah.
the same goddamn game, except we changed our sprite now to now we are Rodimus Convoy, hero of...
I know he's Rodimus because he's Hot Rod turned into Optimus, but this name has always sounded like a guy called Rodney that became a Transformer.
So,
I have a question.
yeah.
If you beat the game as Rodimus and you don't collect all the letters, does it tell you, hey Magnus, you screwed up, go get the Rodimus letters?
This is something I am unclear about, and that we're going to find out now as I play through this goddamn game again as Rodimus. But I'm going to not collect the letters and see what happens, see if that changes anything. Because
I mean, theoretically, collecting the letters should also change something because you weren't playing as
Yeah.
Magnus.
I mean, heck,
But both
hey,
ways.
big ups though. You did essentially beat this without rewinds being used for deaths and stuff. So that's tremendous. Showed
hold on,
achievement
let me
four.
just check. Because that is the one that has... Now suddenly I can't hit things.
It does have the letter.
You know, let's collect the letters again just to see what happens.
All right.
Just to be safe, because I want to see that true ending.
So theoretically, what you could do is,
Is
once you
last
get
stage,
to,
yeah. Save state.
When you get to stage 9, save state there.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
idea.
the last one.
That's a smart-ass idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to coast off of that first
You gotta
playthrough,
remember.
fresh in the memory.
Yeah. As you said earlier, not being able to remember 5 minutes ago.
Again, the play it twice. I assume this isn't like true ending style, but you know, play it twice for true ending. Also, push the style all the time. But they would at least make some of the enemy patterns different. I don't think that's the case here.
No, this is the exact same game. Hold on, let me just see. I am going to cheat a little bit during this too. I'm just going to, let's just do this for efficiency.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have anything to prove. Motherfuckers.
They didn't replace any of the robots here with Buzzy Beetles for their second playthrough.
No. So it is a fun little twist in Super Mario Bros. Was that the Rodimus letter? No, right?
I think
yeah?
that was.
I think it's a jet in this level again.
Okay,
Yeah.
good call. So yeah, this was how you would maximize gameplay. Not just making a ball-bustingly difficult game, but then asking them do it twice in a row.
Yep.
Imagine a kid playing this and getting to this point and actually being really excited. Like, I can play as Rodimus?
Fuck
Yeah! My favorite! This is so much better.
With all his different abilities. You know, hold on. I should probably...
Oh, fuck that!
Yeah, they
Fucking
drop. It is awful, these enemies. They position themselves in the most annoying way humanly possible. Especially, I just want to see what I transform into, and the game's not going to let me. Fuck it. We'll save it for another stage.
Well, now you can.
No, they would have just kept spawning different enemies. I know what stage I can try it out on. The one where it's necessary to do so. Where transforming is actually necessary for the one time in the game. Here we go. Do we want to visit the old man again?
Good.
Yeah, uncle.
Wait, I can just skip half the shit. And I will. Ha! Whatever. Like I said, I got through it the first time without rewind. For the most part, so at this point, here's how quickly you could theoretically do it. It's like watching a TAS on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Ah, there we go. Look at this
Ooh.
thing.
Right. Yeah, that's different.
Oh, if you look though, if you slow it down, you can kind of see the original sprite they recolored.
Yes.
The fire truck.
Ah, whatever. Sprite bank limits on the NES. You
yeah.
worked with what you got. This game was already probably pushing cartridges to their maximum capacity with the amount of assets into. I totally forgot to visit the old man.
Yeah. Now remember, you can do a lob shot downwards, or you do that.
She's beautiful.
We're going to, this game specifically at the end, but I'm curious about this. So Jojo asks if this is the worst Transformer game or the one you got in a chance time, which I don't remember that one actually.
That was the PS1 Beast Wars one.
Oh, right. Now, okay. It hit me again. I must have blocked that memory.
I want to see if his color palette changed, NA. It did not. I thought it might be,
I mean,
well, bye. Hold on, let me see what happens. Let's actually survive one of these, see how long it runs for. Let this little jaunty tune, this commercial jingle play out. And again, most playthroughs do not acknowledge the existence of this Easter egg in particular, of this room.
Well, that's
There
that
it is.
long. By the way, I noticed something, that there's a stray pixel on his pickaxe.
Yes, on his pick, yes. Alley-oop. There we go. It sucks that you don't get to carry the power-ups into this stage. That if you got them during the
kinda
course of the
easy
stage.
enough.
Yeah, I guess. Right.
I don't remember where the jet is on this one.
Yeah, I briefly checked.
There, I got flying. That's what I wanted.
Does flying last till you die or move on to the boss? Or does it just run out?
It does not run out in the course of the stage, unless you pick up that D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
well.
the jet inside this area. That's the letter.
Oh, right.
As quickly as possible, shift back to effective mode right here. Scroll it.
Uh-huh.
Ah! Shit.
Oh, they knew what they were doing there.
Hold on. I wonder if I could do that. Yeah, that's probably the move.
Nice.
That is probably the intended way to get that. Okay. The rest of this is child's play.
I'm liking the rearranged soundtrack on our second playthrough.
Yeah, they really mixed it up. Really embodies playing as, what's this fucking guy's name again? Rodimus Prime. We only collected all the letters to his name. I should probably remember who he is.
Yeah. Rowdy Rodimus Prime.
He's collecting all the letters so he can put it on the back of his sweatpants.
So we can write it on his underwear and remember who he is. It's a new name for him, because remember, he transforms from Hot Rod into this, so... It would take some getting used to.
Imagine they named
taking
him
that upper
differently.
path should have given you a different boss fight, like a secret boss against Strange Old Man.
Imagine they named him differently and he was Rodimus Prime.
Too hot to Trotimus. Fuck.
There you go. Is it that? It's that one or is it the next jet?
No, there's a whole base built into an asteroid.
Fuck.
Right,
And
yeah.
that's the one.
That's just the power-up, which I do want the power-up, so...
It's this one, so there's gonna be a
Okay, yeah.
jet coming up right there.
Oh! Oh! Come on. Rude. Oh, and it did the thing where it dropped my jump input again there, by the way.
Yeah.
which I think seems to happen most on these platforms that move up and down.
Yeah.
Almost if they are poorly programmed or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of poorly
slow
programmed.
Not one of the worst on Famicom for sure when it comes to things slowing down.
No, they're certainly worse, but, you know, it is noticeable. It is conspicuous by its presence. Whatever. I'll take that. I'll accept that. Oh, it did the thing. It missed a jump again from me on that platform. I'm telling you, it's something about those moving platforms. All right. And I remember. See? I learn.
Yep.
I am capable.
That was
I am
so
an old
nice.
dog, but I still learn
When
new
you
tricks.
Could you turn into a thing again? Yeah, when you turn into a car as him, he sort of looks like a tricked out hearse.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like Guy Fieri's funeral, it looks like.
Thousands will mourn.
Yeah. The flames
Flavor Town will
means
be
he,
flooded with commemorations and...
Yeah, the flames on it means he can get to heaven faster.
Oh, right, I can just do this. There we go. And then is it down here? Where is it? Where's the old man?
Where is he? Where's that old man?
Hey, look at me on the right-hand side of the screen.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whatever, it's not actually fucking essential, so if I somehow fucked up and missed it, that's just too bad. We'll always have the memories of Oji-san.
Again, lob shot.
Yep.
You might have an
I think that also
invincibility
put your
frame when you do that. When you're
Also, I think
transforming.
for that specific scenario, being in car form gave you a low enough profile that his shot couldn't track you correctly.
Maybe. I'm just double... Come on. Come on. There's no reason why I
think the
can't
bear
make this.
method. If you like turn into
Rodimus,
the car
how-
and drive fast, there you
Okay,
go.
good point. Good call.
Rodimus, how goes the mission? I'm trying to get into this hole.
There's an old
Can't.
man waiting for me.
Hurry up, you need to defeat the concept of a Decepticon.
And I did.
Oh, Jojo mentions, out of curiosity, I looked up if there is a Transformer that turns into a hearse, and there is. He's called Flatline.
Boo.
No,
I'm
that's
all
a
for it.
Hold
that's a
on.
plus 10 for me.
Ah, whatever. Of course, it's a power down.
Is he used for Transformers when they die, though? Is he like a funeral director for other Transformers?
You missed the trick not
Universe?
showing up in Transformers the movie. Escorting Optimus Prime to his final resting
he
place.
was?
All right, these assholes.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking at the wiki entry form, Generation 1, although G1 is weird because I think he starts in fucking the 2005. Like, whatever, he's a medic. So I guess he transforms in case he does a bad job.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
Oh my god, these are the worst enemies in the game. These red ones, these are the worst. The fact that they position themselves in just the most inconvenient spot possible, given your current parameters. These ones suck too. These default enemies also suck. Every enemy in this game sucks in their own unique, special way. Fuck you, Optimus. I'm in charge now.
There is something really funny about the plain ones that just get turned into, you know, people, and they just like, oh, run away.
They run towards you. They do like a kamikaze charge towards you, basically.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, right. No
But, you
jump
know.
space up there.
If you jump over them, they can't stop. It's like an Irish whipped in a wrestling game.
Here we go. Stage 8. We're almost done. This is going considerably faster than the first playthrough. Funny that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one with the opening
wait.
on the left.
Yes. Right here.
It's like the worst game of Breakout. There we go.
No, this is better than a game of Breakout. You can actually aim.
You know, fair point. I want it to stop. I want it to freeze mid-frame with me in the air like I'm playing Castlevania, collecting the orb. Yeah, there we go. And then just rush the rest of this.
Whoa. Ooh.
Ah, well. It was going pretty well. I was making it look easy for a second there. You know? I may have the game fresh in memory, but there's still some things that still just suck. There's still some things that are just hard to maneuver around.
Now, you may want to drop a save state at the start of this level if we want to see both bonus endings or whatever.
Yes. All right.
Do you want to do the fuck up path first? As in, don't collect the thing?
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, you still have to solve the level.
You do, yes.
So we're gonna take the same. Right. Okay. Remember, wait for the shot. Okay, got it. And then wait. No, what am I doing? How do I do this? Oh, right. I got it. Cool. Okay. Let me see.
So
how much of this I remember. Down.
Yep.
Ignore
Down,
that.
Get shot.
Middle. Under.
Nope.
Not yet.
Right. Up. and
Close. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh my god, I tried to like do it like on the lip, but yeah, it's so mean.
So mean.
And the fact that you have to be like, if you actually wanted to hit these, you have to be in truck mode. Wait, hold on. I have an idea. I don't know why I need to rewind to do that, but can I scroll that off screen to do this?
Oh, look at that.
Does this
That's
count?
real pro strats there.
Shoot all those.
Destroy racism.
Points.
It would have to be down because there's no way through the middle there.
Imagine. There's some... Yeah, middle. Yeah, middle until the end.
No, not middle till the end. Middle until you just keep going. For now. You can now go up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm too zoomed in.
And don't get that if you don't want to.
So through the middle?
Nope, up.
Yeah, up here. Nah, I stupidly had it zoomed in and thought the level was shorter than it was.
No, don't worry, I got it here.
Now middle?
Middle from here. Middle still. Up.
Oh,
nope.
Up here?
Yes.
Shit.
And now middle. Till the end.
Oof. No. Perfect. Right, this fight sucks. Right, I forgot. I almost forgot for a second that this fight's awful. They should have given, like, fucking... Even if not making the game harder, they should have made the game easier as Rodimus. They should have given, like, a longer projectile, somehow do more damage, just...
Take one hit.
Take it like a free hit, yeah. Right, is it an up or down? I already forget. Up. Right.
No, up.
But who's on first? Oh, God. No, that's not where I want to be. This is the opposite of where I want to be. This is the last thing I wanted to happen.
Oh.
Fuckers.
Oh, that was pretty good there.
Half of this is pure luck, to be clear.
It looks intentional though.
The other half,
Which is the
pure
important thing.
fucking skill. Oh, come on, game. Just let me have it.
I don't remember the fourth line minor. Like 10% skill, 20% luck, and something to remember the
Concentrated
name.
power of will.
Yep.
10% pain, 90% pain, 80% concentrated power of pain.
Oh, that was secretly the most pro thing I did in this whole run, but no one's ever gonna know. And final boss. Right, let's not die. They could have made the bosses a lot harder. Oh, that was like a mutually assured destruction at the end there.
True ending.
Okay, so I guys need to jump on that platform
Yeah.
if it lets me. No, not that. I think this might just be like a... Oh, well, I could just do that, I guess. You just jump at the second that it comes out of the mouth.
You really have to learn the exact time it shoots so you can
No jump.
let
Jump
it
stuck.
lead the shot, and then you know it's about baiting the shot, but there's
Yep.
there's no tell, so you just have to learn the pace of it. Congratulations!
Well, that is a different ending screen.
That is the ending. That is the proper ending. So
what
that means we
happens
can
if we get-
finally hit my fucking screen.
But do you want to know what happens if you get all the letters?
Yeah, I do kind of. It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be the exact same shit. I know doing this, that's going to be the exact same shit. Why am I doing this to myself? Why do
Victory
I...
lap. At least we're not starting from the top.
All right, let's see if I remember. Middle, or is it top here? No, it's
Middle.
No, you're right.
then top.
Yeah, there's top because they know you're gonna go up, so they put
I-
these two shots going against you.
That works. Okay.
Hmm?
Is it that one? I think it's this one, right? No, it's not.
No.
Also, can
No,
I roll
it's
for a better
after-
power-up? Can I roll for a stronger power-up than no power-up at all?
I
Don't
maybe,
think. I don't think it RNG's that way, but. No,
Oh,
I
maybe
don't
not.
think
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, it was very common at the time where like the frame you killed an enemy on is like the random number generator would change per frame and per input. So that's how like TASes would manipulate games.
Where do I go?
Middle. Stay middle. Okay, now go to the top.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Got
And then
him.
after this, go middle and stay middle. Wait.
No, I know there's one that comes up where
Yeah, there's one more at the top. Yeah.
this.
Yep. And then go middle. And that's it.
Love to see it. Fuck.
Good. Love to see it.
Love to
Love
see
to
it.
see it.
Oh, this is way worse than the one that the other guy shoots, than the big dinosaur robot shoots. Yeah, Megatron is clearly the hardest fucking enemy. He may have less health than the dinosaur robot, but fuck, I hate this fight. This fight
And
sucks.
the smaller hitbox as well.
Yeah.
It feels like it should be the final boss.
Also, Megatron. It feels like it should be the final boss.
I mean, Galvatron was the final boss of the movie, so
Yeah, I
Well,
figured it was something
Galvatron
like
is
that.
also not the final boss of this game, so.
yeah, good point. Yeah, we didn't, really address that. This doesn't follow the plot of the movie. They just came up with their own continuity for this. I guess I did address that. I guess I did hint at that. I did sort of touch on
I
that.
need to double check what the Transformer that Weird Al voiced was.
He didn't voice one. He just made the song.
No, he's voiced a few Transformers.
Oh,
But not
skilled.
okay. So not in the movie, but in Transformers Animated, he was Wreck Gar and some DAC systems technician. And then in Transformers Earthspark, he was Cosmos.
Well, good for him getting roles, keeping his
yeah.
SAG-AFTRA membership, or not Screen Actors, just working actor, whatever guild. I forget the guilds.
Oh right. Yeah, this Transformers wikis reminded me of one of my favorite animated roles that he did, where the Grim Adventures being Andy, where he was the sorting hat in their Harry Potter piss take.
Oh, the timing.
And I'll say that more than a parody, it was a piss take of Harry Potter those episodes.
There we go.
Hey.
All right, true ending time. Much better.
Yeah, great. Much improved. Congratulations. Just the one.
Be fun if it just somehow like kept rotating the palette somehow.
That makes sense.
And hey, guess what? You could start the game over as Ultra Magnus now. Hooray!
Oh, hell
Hey,
yeah.
Hey!
Look at that. Infinite game.
Well, I think I'm safe to close out of this one now. Don't think I need to see any more of that. We'll end on
One
the
last
perfect
death
frame
to-
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will exit stage left. Just to show up again. Stage bottom. Hey! So that was Transformers Mystery of Convoy. I'm sorry, the Transformers Mystery of Convoy, officially. Or unofficially, I guess. I mean, if we really want to be official, I'd read the full title again. I'd butcher the full title again. That was Tatakae Chō Robotto Seimeitai Toransufōmā Konboi no Nazo. What did y'all think of it?
Well, I don't think it's one of the worst Famicom games. It is truly like worthy of its reputation, I think, as an awful one. But I think in a lot of ways I've seen much, much, much worse. However, this is still really, really, really bad. It's like clearly, obviously, beatable to an extent, but if you didn't have the infinite lives, like, or if you didn't know about the continue code, or if you really had to bang your head against the wall that is level 9, that would be super excruciating. That is the point where I was like, yeah, I can understand why no one would have like beaten this shit. So, with the benefit of, let's say you had the strategy guide, this is definitely beatable. It's not good that a game to become beatable really like requires the strategy guide at that point. But I am struck by the fact that just in terms of pure playability, that this is better than a lot of slop I've seen on NES and Famicom. I think that's kind of my thought. Still well deserving of its legendary title of being a horrible game, but a oddly playable horrible game to a point.
Yeah. Yeah, I would echo those same sentiments. Like, I think there are uglier looking Famicom and NES games of even that specific year, and worse sounding ones. Again, I point to the Disk System sequel. I listened to it for like 3 seconds and I had to turn it off. But yeah, just unfair in so many ways. Again, some of it very typical at the time, some in unique ways. But I do see why this game has its infamy and how people can get a like masochistic uber challenge enjoyment out of it. Obviously, some of the stuff with trying to figure out where the letters is bullshit, and who knows how forthcoming the manual would have been in the Japanese, the original Japanese box release would have been about that stuff, and the warps that give you the bad ending, which is pretty funny, I'll say. It's like a troll thing.
You can leverage them on the second playthrough, I guess. Knowing that now,
Yeah,
knowing
yeah.
that you can skip the letters on the second playthrough as
Yeah.
Rodimus, but It's only
They
skipping
won't get
one
the high
stage at a
score.
time anyway, so.
But yeah, definitely that just looked very slippery and awkward to control. But yeah, I can definitely see how someone could get enjoyment from this and just like the self-punishment and like self-challenge of beating a game that's unreasonable. Doesn't really feel designed to be beaten in some ways. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, which I guess means it's my turn. Yeah, that's a nightmare. And the thing is, it would be so easy to fix. Even if you're just doing the most basic change to it, like the simplest thing that could be done. Let's not even, address like changing the colors of bullets or making them larger and move slower so you have more time to dodge them. Having like indicators for when enemies are going to pop up on screen a little bit better. Having more static enemies rather than the infinitely spawning ones. Let's not begin to address like the bad platforming, the slippery controls, how utterly useless the truck form is, how utterly useless your base form is, really. Just the lack of like attack options besides the one power up that gives you like one extra diagonal shot, which is super useful, but could have been so much more. There could have been more variants on weapons, maybe like a screen like clearing, or not a screen clearing, but maybe it's like a missile that you shoot that has like an area of effect that like lingers for a few seconds that would turn the jet enemies, instead of like having them transform, would just kill them outright. All those sorts of changes that you could make to make a better game out of this. The most simple, hacky way to have improved this game 100-fold would be to just have a health meter. Just like hit points, a bit of hit stun when you get hits. Even if it's just 3 hits, even if it's just like enough wiggle room to get you past like one slip up here or there. And then, you can even take the barrier power-up that does give you the 3 hit points, effectively. Just make that like a temporary invincibility for as long as the jingle plays. That's it. That's all you need to do. It would still not be a great game at that point. That would not transform it into, a hidden gem for the Famicom. But it would at least, like, take it out of the realm of being nigh unplayable. Which, do I even believe it's nigh unplayable? Do I even believe that couldn't be mastered? I think it's because like the infinitely spawning enemies and just like the angles, the oblique angles that they hit you from, how it is like based on your position on the screen. I'm sure there's a way to learn like how to predict where and when the enemies will spawn that you could use. Maybe you could use that to like grind out lives, to grind out score in the same way that, like in Super Mario Bros. You can do that trick with the Koopa shell and get like infinite points and infinite one-ups for it. There's probably like, if you game it out, probably like a position you could take in one of the stages where you turn on turbo on your controller and just grind out those lives. Maybe that exists. But I mean, that's also ultimately unnecessary when you just have the continue button. They should just have the continue be on the game over screen. They should have just, when the game over flashes, says continue or back to menu, like, real video games would do at the time.
I mean, we established earlier that other video games also would have continue hidden behind a code.
Yeah, but some of them at this
unfortunately,
point, by 86, I mean, there had been enough games that would have just had to continue on the menu at this point. It's entirely up to developers. It was not unreasonable to expect that to be programmed in.
Oh, no, surely they could. Just saying, unfortunately, it was also not unheard of.
Yeah, like there's a lot of bad aspects to this, but definitely the worst is the cryptic knowledge that you just wouldn't have and wouldn't pass just by playing the game. That is definitely the worst aspect of it, just designed to make it harder and harder to get through.
No doubt. At the same time, is it the hardest game I've ever played? No, certainly not. I think there is a world in which someone could probably master this to the point where they can play through it 1 credit. I mean, you could die a couple times, you can gain enough lives to, to make up for like deaths that you just can't predict for, just like, like slipping up here and there. I think it is a beatable game. I think it is a game that you can actually learn to play on its terms. It would be a completely worthless endeavor. I don't know why you would endeavor to do that, but I think it is theoretically possible. It wouldn't be pleasant. I wouldn't do it. I don't think this game merits that sort of reverence or dedication to it, but it is possible. I don't know. It's hard to find too much hate in my heart for it, despite the I was constantly doing while I was dying during the first playthrough, knowing that I didn't have the rewind to fall back on. But we still got through it pretty breezily at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that playthrough without rewinds, took an hour. And then we dragged it out for a little while longer with some other busy work and stuff just to get it to be a slightly longer episode. But, it's very slight. I think that might be a problem in and of itself, that if it had those extra lives, if it had the extra hit points, I think they would probably want to make the game a little bit longer to compensate for it. I don't know how much longer. I don't know if it needed to be that much longer. Maybe it's 16 stages, 20 tops. Though they probably at that point would have started recycling stages again. So maybe best not to go down that path. Maybe skip that thought. Maybe boot that idea. I wish there was more to do as far as transforming was concerned. I wish the truck was more useful. I wish that this was my ideal version of this game. So we're going beyond just the simple hot fix of giving it health points. Though I would incorporate that into my ideal version. The game obviously would have the hit points in it. I think I would have it so the truck had more practicality, not just the one time you have to use it in terms of platforming, and then the one time during stage 9 where you have to go under that thing. To make it a viable option for combat. Yeah, it doesn't have the jump, but maybe it could plow through enemies. Maybe if you hit max speed with it, just running over enemies is enough to go through them. That would have been a huge change. That would have been a fucking game changer for it. Instead of having the arcing projectile. Like I said, you know what? You need the arcing projectile for the enemies that are down low, that in the vertical stages. So I guess keep that.
Yeah. I get what you mean, though. Expand on that idea.
There's certainly ways to do it to make that switch that much quicker. It's quick enough as is. You have to hold down D-pad for a second before it transforms. The animation is quick, but the process of initiating the transform should be quickened, I think. And then you can just make it a more dynamic game where you're switching back and forth as the situation calls for, based on your personal preference or based on the layout of the stage. And I think that would have gone a long way. I think that having more expansive arsenal, like I mentioned, having a spread shot's nice. I would like a spread shot that also shoots down in your base form, so you can just attack low. I would have more enemies dropping more power-ups, so that you have more access to those, and you can take out the power down. There's no point in having that. That's just rude. That's just mean. And these changes that I'm suggesting, none of these are particularly difficult. These are things that could be done with a ROM hack, I would think. I don't know why anyone would want to do that. I'm not calling for someone to do that right now, but it would be funny if someone did on our suggestion. So I think there's the ideas, the bones of a good game. I don't think that Isco and Locomotive were completely bereft of ideas, even if with this being their first games respectively. They had the foundation of an idea here that if they had more time potentially, or higher budget, or just one seasoned dude on staff to say, nah, do it like this. I think this could have wound up being something at least decent, worthy of the brand, that would be more fondly remembered. But also at the same time, I think its role as, a classic of kusogē is legacy enough for it. I think there are people who affectionately look back on being tortured by this game, in their time being consumers in the 80s in Japan, being Transformers fans who were burnt by this one back in the day. It was enough to warrant that Squeakquel game. And, that whole anime run about reflecting on this game. So clearly it carved a spot out in the hearts of consumers, for better or for worse. And that's fine. Sometimes, the classics of kusogē, sometimes you don't want to change them. Sometimes they need to be exactly as shitty as they were. The right game at the right place at the right time with all the wrong ideas in it. And, yeah. I'd give it 2 out of 5. I don't think I'm going with a 1 out of 5 for it. I think it is playable enough and breezy enough that it avoids the absolute bottom tier for me. Plus some of the stuff that happens there, some of the deaths you can incur, those robots that emerge from the ice, that is just funny. It's frustrating to get killed by that in the middle of a good run, of a solid run, if you have your momentum going, and to have it ruined by that. But in abstract, very funny to have that enemy pop up just in the middle of your path and just kill you so unceremoniously. So yeah, hard to find hate in my heart for this, having played it again here. And that's about all I got to say about that. So to that I say, folks, thank you for tuning into this, our playthrough of the Transformers Mystery of Convoy, or whatever other title you want to go by. I'm not going to try to pronounce the original Japanese long-form title again. This background, by the way, just to quickly duck us out of frame, is from the Transformers Q, or Q Transformers anime. This is from one of the episodes of that Flash animation series, where Bumblebee imagines them as, like, shonen characters, I suppose. Or shoujo characters, I should say. Anyway, thanks for tuning into this. That was a fun one to do. It was a light, breezy one. We certainly had more painful streams in past. Even without my handy-dandy rewind on hand, we got through it in record time, one might say. It could have been Snake's Revenge tonight. That would have probably been a two-parter, all things told. That probably would have taken a lot longer. So I think we somehow got the easiest option of the three that we put up. What was even the third one again? What was the third one I put up on the poll? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Oh, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, yeah.
That would have been a one-off. I could have done that as a one-off. I could have done that one without rewinding too. Hold me to it. When we do eventually, because we will eventually get to Snake's Revenge and Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, I can probably do both of those without rewinding. We'll see. We'll see if anyone remembers the statement I'm making here at the end of the show. And again, those are games we will absolutely get to in time. All the bad games, all the classics of kusogē will eventually be covered here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. But for our immediate plans, for our stream schedule, Thursday, this April the 2nd, will be episode 2 of Colossal Cave, the 2023 remake of Colossal Cave Adventure, as re-envisioned, reimagined by Roberta Williams. Please to check out the first episode of that playthrough. Please to watch our 2-hour history section. One of the best history sections we've done, in my personal opinion. And I say that because it is one of the pettiest history sections we've done, I think. And you know how I go for that. But lots of interesting games history details and a portrait of a icon, a legend of game development, perhaps in her own mind. Saturday, we will have the N Star Cube N Showcase episode 2. Charky, please to explain.
All right, so there'll be me, Devious Vacuum, and Sid returning for potentially the last time, but hopefully not, to the catalog of N Star Cube on Steam, who makes some tragically horny video games. It will not be sexually explicit, but oh boy, you're going to see a lot of ladies in bikinis, and you're going to see a lot of assets that were probably not meant to be used in a video game, and destroying the frame rate. I would say check out our first episode because it is a good one, but you don't need to check out this new one, which I think is going to be even better.
Very good. You can tune in Monday, April 6th, for another episode of Casual Mondays, the show where we play not-so-bad games, shoot the shit in a casual format, etc., etc. Fun times had on that show, most typically. VODs for that one go up on the Patreon to our financial backers, or you can catch it live as it's airing on Twitch, but that is us nickel and diming the consumer of our content with that show. But Tuesday, April 7th, a week from now, what will we be doing on that day? Who knows? We have a big pending on there on the schedule. It'll be something. It's always something on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Give us some time to cook, to figure it out, and we'll have an update when we have an update. I mean, we decided this one like the day before, basically, so maybe you'll have to wait until Monday to find out. Time will tell. But that is our look at the stream schedule. If you like what you saw here tonight, folks, consider joining our Discord community. Discord.gg/BGHOF, a community of connoisseurs, talk good games, bad games, things that aren't games. Or join our Bad Game Club, which has just wrapped up for the month of March. Every month we pick out a game for the community to play and commiserate over. For the month of March, it was Castlevania for the N64. I know there are some people who are continuing to play it, and possibly checking out the Squeakquel Legacy of Darkness. But we will endeavor to pick a new game for the month of April. Unless you've picked one out, Johnny, secretly, do you have one in the back of the bag?
Not specific, but I do know what the plan is roughly.
All
so I
right.
do look forward to that.
Very good. Tune in to the Discord to find out, and we'll also let you know on the show when that's up and running for this month. If you really like what you saw here tonight, you might even consider financially supporting us. This is Trans Day of Visibility, after all. It's supposed to pay trans people on this day, so consider subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, or becoming a member on YouTube. Any or all of the above will grant you access on the Discord server to a Patreon Saints channel, wherein you can vote in polls, the likes of which determine that we played this tonight, as well as the reason why we're playing Colossal Cave, the remake. Make suggestions, help steer the direction of the show. Gain access to exclusive content, primarily by way of VODs, like the Casual Mondays archives. We're always working on further offerings on that end. And also just be recognized by us, appreciated by us for helping keep the lights on here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame. If you can't financially support us, we completely understand. If you're still looking for a way to help out the show, that is free. It is free. You can go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@BadGameHallOfFame. Mosey on over to our suggested viewing playlist. 20 handpicked episodes on there that we think make for some of the best onboarding onto this here show of ours that are fit for sharing with folk you know, folk who might go for a video game stream archive in the 2 to 4 hour range. Or maybe, someone who's a big Transformers fan. Hopefully they're not put off by the first 5 minutes of this episode where I talk about Transformers dismissively, or the history section where I talk about it somewhat dismissively. I think it's pretty light. I think it's pretty light ribbing. I don't think a Transformers fan would take too much umbrage with this episode, I hope. Only one way to find out. That's for folk to share this episode with Transformers fans and let them get back to us. We leave it to your discretion, though, of course, dear viewer. With all that squared away, just taking a quick look at what we can send folk over to. I'm gonna go with... Let's go with Slow Beef, friend of the show, Slow Beef. Check out our episode of The Immortal, playing through The Immortal with Slow Beef on commentary. He's currently playing Metal Gear Acid, the Metal Gear card game for PSP. One of 2, I believe.
Yep.
So let him know that the Bad Game Hall of Fame sent you, if you choose to follow in the raid. But that will do it for us here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Thank you once more for tuning in. I have been Ultra Cassidy.
I've been Charky Subprime.
And I've been Jonimus, Baghead Prime.
Very good. Until next time, bye.
Good night, everybody.
Toodles!